And then once you're on here, you can go up to the journal tab and add yourself a character. Also pinned in the channel are the two main macros that you will need, normal roles and specialty roles. You need to paste that code, create a macro on the macro tab and paste the code into each one of those for you.
Wait, sorry. Repeat that.
Macros.
In the next to the journal, there's a macro there should be a macro tab. You add a macro, and then in Discord, in the pins, there are the two macros, one for normal role, one for specialty roles.
Yeah, okay.
Create one macro for each, paste the code into when you add the macro. And then you probably want to click the in bar box next to it, so they'll be at the bottom of the screen. That way you have normal and specialty roles. You can create butter rolls too, but I don't think they'll be of any use.
Okay, that works.
That way it'll have how many dice. You'll have to manually figure out how many dice you are. In the description, you can type if it's an attack or 2 attributes or whatever it is. And then the difficulty default is 6. Sometimes it may change depending on what you are doing. And the specialty roll, if you have a specialty, will count 10s and roll them again.
Okay. I made a quick reference for which attributes are associated with which creeds.
And that way, because the stupid little quick roll thing on the character sheet that has very few options, you can make those for certain things that you will be doing all the time, but we'll probably be using generic.
That is what the hell? That's a roll. All right.
That is yeah, that's a roll.
Ooh, wow.
Yes.
Get them out of your system now. You know?
Yes, that's a lot of ones.
Oh no, it's not a botch because you got a success. It just all the ones took the success away.
Yep.
Big failure.
Excuse me, sir. I would like my successes back.
Sorry. All out of successes.
I was gonna see the exploding dice, but none of those are going to explode.
No, they're busy in the corner crying.
Yes, they are.
All right, so we're gonna go with Springfield, Virginia, just because Springfield, it makes a nice fictional anywhere, any town, any state.
Oh, we're gonna live in Springfield. Okay, sounds exciting.
Let me get a map of the Virginia out here.
There is a Springfield, Virginia, just so you know.
There's a Springfield every state.
I know.
Go to any state. There's a Springfield in it.
We're in the other Springfield, Virginia.
The other Springfield, Virginia. I love it.
Maybe the other Springfield, Virginia. There might be more than one in Virginia.
There was a comic book / it was I can't remember if it's a manga or a comic book, but it was called Ninja High School. And I just remember they had a picture of like Superman flying over, looking at a friggin' map, going, "Quagmire, where the hell am I?"
Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't want to live at that one anyways. That one is like right outside of DC. Nope. let's not go there.
Yeah.
What? Actually, no. Right outside DC is perfect. Nobody will notice the gunshots, the heavy machine gun fire, or anything.
Yeah, no. Do not. I do not want to be right outside of DC. Care about the other stuff.
All right. So, do you wish to be in the mountains, kind of central?
Yeah, I was thinking we could be like on one of these like border towns that like part of it's in West Virginia and the other part's in Virginia. It'd be fun, kind of funny. Because
Like funny haha or funny shit, I woke up on the wrong side of the border.
Yes, both. Plus, it cuts right through the mountains, which is kind of nice. So it's sort of this like so in a sense, it was just kind of like along that path and it just so happened that some were on one side and some were on the other.
So I see that Scaly is trying to kill us by either having us fall off a ledge or have a giant rock land on us.
Well, we're gonna be in the mountains. That could happen anyways. But no. I actually was like looking at the map, and there's actually several examples of that happening, where it literally cuts right through some of these towns. So
Well, okay. So we're talking about the mountains. So I'm guessing we are saying nowhere near the ocean/bay area.
correct.
Okay. No, I'm just.
But
let's cut off some. Let's eliminate locations and then zero in.
But one thing it can have, which I was excited to notice, it can have hot springs. There are hot springs along that path, and I thought that was neat.
Yet again, Scaly is now trying to kill us with boiling water.
Hey, look, hot springs are cool.
No, they're really not. It's actually in the term. There's nothing cool about them.
He's got you there.
He does. You're right. But I'm saying, there is access to water, just not the ocean.
I'll put it this way. I was in love with hot springs until I actually talked to a geologist and they explained to me how a hot spring works. I was like, oh dear God, I don't want to ever get near one of those things. They sound horrible.
Yes. But
it looks like the mountains kind of range in that little range there. That's the light blue. Fun fact.
Yes, if I trip hard enough, I can actually end up in Galax.
The Appalachians are so old that they should be taller than Mount Fuji and the Himalayas, but they are so old that they are worn down.
Yes.
Yes, everybody didn't pay attention to the "Do not tread on me" signs.
So you want to be on a border town. Do you wish to be in a border town like in the southern range?
That'd be close to Tennessee.
Border?
Let's see. Do you want to be? Where do you guys want to be close to Kentucky and Tennessee, or do you just kind of want to be close to West Virginia and that's it?
Actually, if you want, we could go right. Hold on, let me see if I can ping it right.
Right in the corner. Oh no, a quarter down, like right at there. Oh my God, that would be. It's a tri-state area.
It's like, where the hell are we?
West Kentucky.
Well, I'm in Virginia. I'm peeing at Kentucky, but the wind's blowing into West Virginia.
Yep, that is an actual historical landmark right there. It looks like a tree, but okay. I don't know what is actually there, but yes. There is no official town there technically, so we could build one there. It looks like it's technically in the middle of a forest, but whatever, it's fine. We don't care about that.
Lots of things are in the middle of a forest around there.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a forest.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's actual
mountains there though.
Cities nearby. It looks like a bunch of low switchback hills.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like there's mountains either. It's not really the mountain town that we were talking about either.
Hey, I was just throwing it out there just for the giggles.
Oh no, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, yeah, that's probably a little low.
Well, I do know one place that we don't want to end up is Roanoke.
Yes, it'd be great. What are you talking about?
Well, no, it's right there next to Salem.
No, I know it's great.
But there's also the city of Cave Spring right there. I'm betting we might find a hot spring there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a town called Warm Springs. Like there's probably some hot springs around over there too.
Well, maybe not quite hot springs, but close enough.
Yes, exactly. Warm Springs. Now we could go down in this area because there's a lake up in up in West Virginia that's not far away, so that could be interesting.
Well, actually, that might be a more relative question: is do we actually want to be in Virginia or do we want to be in West Virginia?
Well, that's what I said.
And we're
it's a border town.
bordering Virginia.
It's a border town. It would be like half of it in the middle of each one.
Actually, Scaly, I'm used here. We have Chimney Run, Warm Springs, Mitchelltown, and then Hot Springs, and then we have Healing Springs. There's an entire road of nothing but springs. I'm going to the springs. Which one?
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, I found where we need to be. How is this a town?
What's a town?
I found a place called Sunrise. I'm looking at it. It is not a town.
Hey, your definition of a town might be different than theirs.
No, seriously. The only thing there is the Bath County Pump Storage Station. That's it. There's nothing else at that location.
Yeah, they'll just let anybody be a town these days.
I think they gave it a name just so it had an address.
Anyway.
But no, actually, I'm looking at it. It's actually really cool looking if you go down Sunrise, because, as I said, it's like this little, it's right there on the mountains. It's below, what lake is it? Okay, that's not even a, Nane? That's a giant water retention
Yes,
lake?
it is. It is a giant water retention pond. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, but if you go down it, you see the upper dam deep pond, then you keep on going down, and it's like, here's a cemetery, here's Mountain Grove, and I'm just looking at it, I was like, there's nothing here. There's
I
no
love
town.
this spot. We should build a town here. See, look,
because it has your mountains, it has your lakes, it's right there near the border of West Virginia. I mean,
yeah,
that's
some
like
of it
what?
could travel across. Like basically, we could say that both sides are technically part of the same town, but they're not. They're like sister towns.
And mind you, I was going south. I didn't even look north. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some farmlands up there north. Yeah, there's basically it's like these little tiny little communities as you go up that road.
Well, this goes right up there when I was doing a game in Illinois. Well, I'm still doing the Chicago game, but I put them out in the middle of friggin' nowhere, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that town here. And I looked, and I was like, that's a post office. Surrounded by farms.
Yes, basically.
It was like, whatever.
Yeah, but we could build a small city.
Envision a small city there. Yeah,
we could build a small city over here.
Built up around that post office is an okayish city.
Hey, look on the other side there, on West Virginia. There's an inn called Mountain Quest Inn. See, come on, how can you resist that one? And there's
Mountain
literally
Quest
nothing
Inn.
around it except farmland. It's great. I would go to this inn.
Okay, I found something a little bit creepy a little bit further south. It's called uh the marker notes it as Chestnut Cemetery. It's a little bit to the west. It's actually closer to the West Virginia side. But I scrolled in and I came across something called Graveyard Run.
That's amazing.
Okay, we have to be somewhere near Graveyard Run. Like, that's just too good not to include.
Yeah, I love this area.
You have Little Back Creek, Alex Run, and then there's Graveyard Run, and to the west of it is Chestnut. I'm sorry, Chestnut Cemetery. I did not finish the phrase. And I'm looking at the cemetery, and it's not a huge cemetery, but there's enough stones there to make me go, either this family has lived here since the founding of Virginia, or this was the site of a friggin' Civil War battle.
Yeah. All right. So it actually does look like it's somewhere around this area, from what I can tell, by just above the Warm Springs, apparently. Unless I'm looking at the map wrong. Yeah, that looks about right.
Hang on, I'll try to figure it out here.
Because there's hot springs to the south with Ashwood and things like that. I could see those.
Yeah, this is the problem of using Google Maps while looking at an actual map.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like it's right around there-ish.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So there's probably some hot springs that maybe that became the sort of buildup of the city. It's like the tourist attraction of our hot springs built the city.
So where Sunrise should be
Yes.
is Springfield, Virginia. Actually, we can call it Sunrise. It'll just be a different.
Yeah, I mean, because Sunrise is technically just a retention pond.
Yeah, unless y'all guys see something I didn't. I'll openly admit, I zoomed in kind of close, and I was like, where the hell is this?
It invokes such a hopeful
It does.
atmosphere. Sunrise.
Yeah, but it's got like got the large retention pond, and you're gonna have some it's some reason already has a cemetery that who knows who gets buried there when there's nobody out living out here.
Well, the cemetery is a lot further south, but yeah.
It's for all these farmers and stuff. Oh my gosh, wait, it's like tiny though. Like I zoomed all the way in. There's like a dozen gravestones there. That's Chestnut Cemetery.
Yeah,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is okay, if you go over and go look at the other cemetery they got marked, there are no gravestones, which makes me go, that's a family plot. That one actually still has gravestones at it, which tells me it had to be the site of the Sibley Cemetery. There's no stones, okay?
But I do like this idea, the area called Graveyard Run that just looks like a forest. It's like it does nothing there. So it's like, wait, what is that reason being called that? But of course, it's right down the road from Alex Run. Did Alex, start running and then die, and now he's next to Graveyard Run?
You also have by the road Big Run.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So the question is one of the guys, like, for example, as I said, this may have been a battle of the Civil War. Alex Run is where Alex's, like, Alexander's militia came through.
Oh, I see.
And Big Run was where the main army came through and ran into Alexander's, and it was like, "Hi, Alex."
To be fair, if you go further down,
that's how you end up in the Graveyard Run.
But then you get Still Run, Big Lick Run, and Little Back Creek. Oh no, that's Creek, not Run. Sorry, Little Big Lick Run. I do not know how they named that one, but we will leave it be.
Well, you also have Still Run.
I saw Still Run, yeah.
That's very hard. Normally, you have to move in order to run.
All right, so let's go around. Now that we know where the city is, some notable landmarks. We have a cemetery. What is that? Southwest of the town?
It depends on where. If we're gonna put
yes.
it, yeah, basically, yeah.
All right, cemetery.
I mean, the thing of it is we can always move it. Oh, I also just found Bogan Run.
Of course. But yeah, and obviously it depends on like how far our actual city now stretches, because obviously our city.
Oh, and right by the retention pond is Schoolhouse Run.
Yeah.
So now you gotta find out, what the hell happened here? Why was the schoolhouse running?
Oh, guess what? A Schoolhouse Run is where we built our first school. See, it's perfect.
How urban is this place? Like, there's gonna be
That's what we're
fairly.
deciding now.
Oh, okay.
We don't
Yeah.
want it
I just heard a bunch of
rural.
bullshit about Run.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because it's hard to deal with too rural when everybody knows who you are.
Right. So
Yeah, I think
general population 20,000, 10,000.
Uh,
I don't
I-
know
I-
what a.
Yeah.
I live in.
I'm thinking this is going to be
It's like
dependent on. Oh, by the way, there's also Hack and Run and Sawmill Run, and Beaver Run. So we got all sorts of run in here. Pole Run. That sounds fun. Ford Run.
All right. Enough of the runs.
okay.
Anyways,
okay.
but no. Here's the thing: is I think one of the things we gotta discuss is, do we want this to be like a going back to Foshka's question as rural and whatnot? Because the thing of it is like where I used to live in Barrow County, Georgia. We had like 80,000 people. How many people lived in like the cities?
Okay. So
It-
officially, by definition, a city needs at least 50,000 inhabitants in a contiguous sort of like grid, a dense grid of grouping of housing or whatever.
Population
Yeah.
is beside the point. That it's a
Well,
it's a
yeah.
useless question, right? What we need to decide is like, are we talking about like a lot of like single family homes with like remote suburbia where you have to drive a half an hour to go anywhere, or are we talking about like a lot of apartment buildings where you got sort of like a more densely packed town where there's a lot of activity, some nightlife and stuff like that? Or are we talking about like a city where there's like big apartment buildings and everything's open at night and like, lots of crowds and people around and everything like that? That's the kind of question I want to know about. Because frankly, 80,000 people doesn't matter to me. The question is whether or not I can hide a body. That's what I want to know.
Hold on. When I say the population, though, we kind of start there because having a large population would assume that some of that exists. So it's like, depending on what we're looking at, assumes that there is going to be a larger nightlife and things of that nature when you have a larger population in general.
And small
Okay.
village town.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
are there different types? Sure. But and there might be some differences, but I feel like when we first settle on at least a relative population, it makes that a little easier.
I've lived in college towns where you had to have a car to get anywhere, and I've lived in college towns where cars were useless. Like you said.
Well,
the
sure.
population
I'm not.
matters how dense
Right.
it is. That's what I want to know.
Well, hold on. Well, most cities basically have a combination of different things, right? So most cities would have out this, the subdivisions outside of, on the outskirts, as well as like a major population center in the inside. So depending on how big we are looking at, it would have a mixture of that. Now, if we're looking at something that is only one of those things, then yeah, we would be looking at a much smaller population at that point.
Okay, hold on. Let me. How about I back this up a little bit, because this might actually help answer the question a little bit better.
Mhm.
How long has this town been here?
I mean,
Was it one of the founding towns in the original Virginia colony, or is this thing founded 20 years after the Revolutionary War?
Yeah.
20 years
Yeah.
after the Civil War? As I said, because based on when this town was established, will help establish those answers. Because, please note, we're talking about the East Coast here, okay? This was the most, settled area for the longest period of time
Yeah. I mean, I was looking
in the history of the United States.
I would
So-
suggest pre-Civil War.
So pre-Civil
I
War.
was looking at like the economic history of Virginia, and I was kind of looking at like the tobacco industry used to be one of the largest industries. That kind of ended up shrinking in during the 20th century, and then but it's actually started to move into more of like technology, like they do like microchip manufacturing and like biotechnology in there sometimes. So I was thinking
Mhm.
it might be kind of interesting to have this be like way back when, and for the longest time, this was like there was tobacco farming in the outlying areas, and there was like a processing plant here, and then that kind of ended up like closing down. There were economic problems within the last 50 years or so, and just recently it's starting to like revitalize its downtown because there's a population center and there's a service industry built up. There's some technology companies that are just like, okay, let's just buy up all this cheap office space, see if we can get people to move here, and then get kind of take over this area.
Well, also because Scaly is so adamant of us being in mountains, more than likely coal is the factor.
Yep, could
Oh,
be coal
Virginia-
mine.
okay.
Virginia
Sure.
and West Virginia are very known for having coal mines and stuff of that nature.
Sure. Let's make it a coal mining industry, and let's
But
see.
no,
Is that something that's
going
like
to your point, the thing of it is like the coal industry has, okay, in the last 20 years has really been dying, but it actually started dying off back in the 80s, coal, I'm trying to think of the term. Us gobbling up coal started to slow down and stuff of that nature, or basically actually before the 80s, really. Back when, we created gasoline and fuel and other fuel types,
alternatives?
especially nuclear.
Plus, I mean, a lot of them shut down when they when there were a lot of environmental issues and stuff. There could have been poisoning the water and things like that they had to shut it down. So it could have there could have been a lot of reasons why it shut down.
Sure. Okay. So I'm just thinking like we that way you got a town with like a long history. There it had its wealthier sections in its downtown and things like that, and then in the within the last generation or so, like things have started to really kind of hit hard times a bit, and a lot of only a few of those older businesses are still the way they were, but there are some newer industries moving in and like creating alternatives to those older neighborhoods that are just now popping up.
Yeah, but as you said, is we could be right there in that little zone of, okay, we are stepping away from coal mining to integrated circuits, the plastic industry, stuff of that nature.
Yeah,
I actually came up with one of the big industry things was a light bulb factory.
A light bulb factory.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Because
like
here's one of the things with light bulb. Well, think about it. Thomas Edison. No, he wasn't from Virginia, but he had patents and he opened up factories all along the East Coast. He created the light bulb. He's attributed to creating all these things, but I actually was watching a documentary about the fact that Edison, right up until the point that he actually had to start manufacturing them on scale, couldn't keep the light bulb working for long enough to actually be useful. That's where the term fake it until you make it came from, was Edison basically faked being able to have a light bulb power itself for enough time and not explode, which was one of the big problems with them, and until he solved that problem. And he literally was like, in the last 2 months before he was going to have to either give everybody their money back, he actually fixed the problem.
Okay.
So we're not going for a time that has cars.
No, we are.
We're talking history right now.
Let's just talk about this then.
I was just pointing out that how a light bulb factory could even be built in Virginia.
An interesting tidbit here. One of the mines actually close to our area was a copper mine.
That makes it. That actually could go into what I was
Copper coal mines.
Well, that goes into what he was talking about how they're switching the industry from coal to electronics. Though, to be perfectly honest, copper works too. Copper is toxic as heck.
Could be why there's no actual village around it. But in our world, we can make one there.
So do we want the coal mine, looking at the table here,
Mhm.
outside to the northwest, to the northeast?
I'm thinking towards the northwest just because, who cares about West Virginia?
So also what about the copper mine?
It's on the map. It would be south, so make it south of us, sort of like
Straight south?
yeah.
Okay. In the city, roughly, where is the college or university?
Oh, we're making this a college town. Okay.
Yeah, it should be a college town, but probably small college town. Like
Oh yeah.
it wouldn't be
No,
a university. It would probably be
So
more like a
college.
community college, honestly.
I mean,
You
it
take-
was probably like specifically an industry school for a long
Yeah.
time, like a coal and copper mining. Like, those are things you need engineers for, and so probably a pretty
Clearly
engineering
you'll need a new
specific
character
school.
concept then.
Do what?
I clearly need a new character concept because there's no way I could be an apartment manager in a small town like this.
Wait,
I
we're
need-
not.
No.
we're-
This
we're
we're
not-
kind of doing this historically. Like, I'm thinking there did grow to be a large population here just because there was a lot of money here, and so you end up with a whole
Oh, yeah,
bunch
there's
of
gonna be
other people there.
I didn't think we were building a town. That's what I thought. I didn't think we were building, so I don't know. So I had put no thought into that.
Yeah, no. There's going to be apartments. I feel like this will end up being a large enough town to hold several apartments. I
Mhm.
don't know, several large population centers and things like that.
I feel like
Yeah.
as part of like the revitalizing industry in the area, there ended up being like a pretty modern downtown, like the kind of place that feels like aggressively modern because they're trying to get engineers and stuff like that to move there from other places, and they tend to be a bit hesitant about moving into an area where they don't have modern conveniences, and so there's a bit of a push to have an active downtown area.
Well, also,
That's,
we're right
built
there
up.
near the ponds, the retention ponds. That means they have hydroelectric there, too.
Well, those don't necessarily have to be in our version.
Yeah. But having a man-made lake or something wouldn't be bad, though.
True.
What was the lake built to keep down there?
Yes, you never know what's actually in the lake.
Is
But
the college close to the center of town? One of the
Mm.
edges?
Yeah. The community college is like the original center of the town. The town built up around that, but it's but kind of like the center of activity ended up being built up somewhere other than that.
else, right. That's probably more subdivision like and things like that with one like smaller commercial area around it because it's community college.
Mhm.
But the expansion became more important as that goes. I would also think if we are going to do a hot springs, then we should put it somewhere maybe at the other corner, like the northeast or something, or wait, west. My bad. I can't give directions right, kind of thing. And then there'll be like a smaller sort of like.
That would be east.
Oh, it is east. See, my brain. But yeah, like a smaller sort of touristy area, I guess you would call it, in that particular area that's grown up around that area, so it becomes like the tourist trap area.
Mm-hmm. So you got all the hotels and things like that.
Yeah,
up
you got
there.
hotels and other things, and shops that are designed to
entertainment restaurant.
Mhm. shops that are designed to the tourist district. You have all these areas
Mhm.
that people would work, and it creates a lot of jobs for the more localized people.
Is
and
there a factory row, like a section of the town that was factories, or are they intermixed, or are there no factories?
There probably was some near some of the like old mines, but whether like what they look like now, or were they torn down and rebuilt up?
I think if we got an electronics industry, there's going to be like a new industrial section, probably that was built like outside of the town, and then more of the town is growing up around it as more people are moving into that.
Yeah. So what
so
would have
like
been the
the
edges
south,
of
like towards like the southeast East
Yeah,
Edge
I
or
figure
something.
the expansion direction will be southeastward.
Mhm.
So newer sections will be in that part. So old original bits will be in the northwestish.
I
Mhm.
think also like around the community college, that's where you put like old downtown.
Yeah.
Those were like the more historic buildings. It was the downtown of the town for a long time.
Yeah, like the
But
old
now
school
it's
Main
kind of
Street.
like
Yeah, there's like an
yeah,
old school Main Street with local businesses and things like that that used to be there.
mhm.
They're just barely surviving, you know.
Well, now they're almost more like a tourist attraction than like a
Yeah.
functional part of the town. And then over on the towards the east side, that's where you're going to have like the new downtown. That's where whatever company is built the factories. They also subsidize
Mm.
some nice tall apartment buildings going up around that area,
Yeah.
and that's where like the
And
most
likely,
people are now.
yeah, probably somewhere further, a little further. Which direction? Where would we put like a more industrial area? Because no
I
one
think-
wants to live in that area.
I mean,
so
I think the industrial is like southeast.
makes sense.
The new industrial.
Yeah.
New industrial. I don't know if there is I think the old industrial was just the copper mine and the coal mine.
Yeah, there might be a few
if-
there's probably a few warehouses and old industrial buildings that are there, but they're probably abandoned. So I imagine that's more like abandoned areas.
If you go off of the roads and whatnot, there's a road called FR 6000. I can see that because that leads into that leads towards the Capitol and all that other stuff. You could probably put it like right along there. That's where the industry was built, just like right along the major highway that goes to where we're shipping our goods.
Okay. And so then north of the new industrial is like that's where the new downtown is. And then I think the other sections of this, the other like corners of this, like the southwest and the northeast, like not leading right up to the tourist district, going right up to about the tourist district. That's where like suburbs of the town are.
Yeah. So basically kind of around the tourist district, because that's, where a lot of people are working, and that's where they would go, so you have these suburbs out there.
Mm-hmm. And then I think you also have those probably in like the suburbs probably like ring the entire community college.
Yeah, you've got
area.
different sets
Yeah.
of suburbs.
So
Yeah.
where's the dense?
You could also have
residential?
apartment complex through there as well.
I think the dense residential is built up around the new downtown.
Yeah, probably around the new downtown would be your denser there, because it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was
makes sense.
thinking there might be, you might have some of the apartments to the north, just to, hey, they are now apartments, but they could have been the old barracks or something like that for the town militia, and now they converted it over to. Basically, I'm saying that more than likely, community college and whatnot probably doesn't have a whole lot of term I'm looking for, sororities and fraternities.
Oh no,
But
yeah,
that's where those houses could have been converted into studios, studio apartments, and that would be affordable to the college kids who are like, I don't want to live on campus. Hey,
Yeah, of course,
Cheap housing.
outside. Yeah, of course, outside of that, there are like farms and stuff that still exist, just kind of outside of the city and stuff area. But
and as for the bars and other things, I would say that would probably be somewhere like halfway between the tourist district and new downtown, because you still want people to come and drink.
The
You want the people in the
entertainment
suburb.
district.
yeah, you probably could put it over here somewhere, like right down, sort of like a sort of in between. Yeah, where the tourists can still reach it, and the downtown people can still reach it. It's where they converge.
I will also say the old downtown does also have some pretty active bars, just because it's close
Oh, yeah.
to the community college.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah, but they're more like local bars. They're the ones where all the locals go. They're the everyone knows where they are and stuff. Where the entertainment district is for all the new fancy bars.
Well, all the locals and the college students.
Yes, yeah, college students, yes. There's like a weird split, like it's like all the locals go to one bar, the college kids go to another bar, and then there's like that one that they both okay with, but if it's too crowded, they both end up leaving.
You got like different rooms in that bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't swap over that much.
I would say somewhere between dense residential and old industrial is where you would probably have the elementary, middle, and high school, because you don't want it too close to the college, because there's no parent on this planet that would want that happening.
You'd probably have that spread around, right? You'd have some over in the suburbs
would be
and
in the suburbs,
over here.
probably even in the home.
Yeah, the cheap homes, the old homes, though. Like anywhere there's residentials, you're gonna have schools.
Well, you could have multiple elementary and middle schools.
Yeah,
I'm saying, but like the high school, they're going to be like, we're not going to want the high school anywhere near the college.
Probably, but not you. You'd be surprised. You would be very, very much surprised. Oh, yeah. I went to a high school near a college. I know.
There's
they don't think
high
that
school like up here.
Scaly, I love you, but we can't apply Florida rules to this.
Well, sure, we can.
It's not just Florida.
Yeah, it's not just Florida. Look, they never considered that when they built some of these older schools. Now, newer schools probably, but older schools, they weren't even thinking about that. Plus, you got to remember, this is not like a rambunctious, gigantic university. This is still a smallish community college. I mean, it's big for the area, obviously, but at the same time, it's not going to be having nearly as many of the crazy parties and things like that you might find at a normal university. So it's going to be a little more toned down. So yeah. So it's probably not as big of a concern. All right. Are we missing anything?
Utilities. We need a spot for where the post office.
There's going to be several post offices, so that's not going to be a problem. We don't need to label every.
There's going to be one in old downtown and one in new downtown, I think.
Yeah. We don't need to label every single building. We're really just looking at communities.
The water supply that might be slightly important. That is definitely on the opposite side to where the mines are.
Probably up near the springs.
Yeah,
I was
probably
going to say like due north between like cheap housing and suburbs, you could have the water tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know what kind of what kind of power we're going to go with or whatever, but I mean, we could do hydroelectric. It might be interesting.
We could do thermo.
There definitely was a coal plant until recently here.
True. We could have an old coal plant that's been shut down. That's kind of cool.
I mean, there's a coal mine here for sure. There was a coal power plant.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's still the active one. Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those that's still halfway maintained just in case there's a power outage, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is an old coal plant. Makes sense. Let's see.
And then as we do, like during the game, specific locations, if there's a specific restaurant you guys always go to, we can place it roughly in a district. If they're,
in one of these districts, right?
Yeah.
We could get more complex and even name some of these districts and subdivisions.
And don't forget, every third grid square is going to be a cemetery. Every fourth grid square is going to be a church.
Not yet. You got to give the vampires a chance to move in for no.
Oh, the vampires moved in a long time ago.
Okay. So that is roughly the town. It is not not like Vegas where you have over 2 million people crammed into a smallish area.
No, somewhere between like 20 and 40,000 people, something like that would probably be functionally fine without being overwhelming.
Probably a bit more with the hot springs and the tourist district. It probably attracts a lot of
Right. We're talking about like
nature
actual people that live
seekers
there.
in town
Mhm.
too.
Yeah. But we get a lot of transients and things like that, I would imagine, and just the touristy areas get packed up.
Yeah.
But as far as actual residents, somewhere in that area probably makes more sense. But
Okay. Let me see what else I had here.
Here's a question: did we want to have like a railroad line going through here?
Railroads to the
Because
mountains.
I'm thinking like the edge of the city, like it goes down from the coal mine, then it hangs right at the copper mine, and that way, materials could be loaded and shipped off wherever. And it's outside of the city, so
Yeah, sure.
heck, it could even be a defunct rail line. This was built in the 1800s. We don't use it no more.
Following. Let's see here. It would probably follow the contours roughly of the mountain, so it would go in that type of direction.
Yeah, makes sense. So we have a. Oh yeah, so we know where the terrible parts of town is, on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Yep.
Sorry, guys, my headset just died, so that's something to put on my Christmas list.
Get yourself to the other side of the tracks.
Yes. Yeah, that's the really terrible. If you live there, you're poor. That's our poor. That's our poor.
Well, we put the West Virginia just on the other side of the coal mine. That's when you know you're really poor.
Yeah. Yes. That's the West Virginia people. That's them.
All right, let's see here. So then the next thing is character names, brief descriptions of who you were. Hold on one moment.
Sorry. I struggled coming up with a name for my character, but it's fine.
Yeah, names for modern characters are always just like weirdly more difficult than they should be.
Yeah. What was terrible is I could name like all the people around him quite easily, but for some reason his name was so difficult for me.
Just do what I do, steal it off of something you're watching.
No, I don't generally do that. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll Google popular names around the time that I assumed he was born, and then I can use one of those. That's kind of where I go sometimes. This one is a little trickier though. So all right, are we supposed to be introducing our character? Sorry.
No, hold on. Jesse can't get in, so I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out
is he?
why.
Oh,
'cause
is
has
he's
the
been struggling.
role. I'm gonna try to just invite him specifically.
All right.
Does this character sheet not have a place to put in specialties?
You just put it right next to the knowledge. You just type it in, or the skill, or what the talent.
Yeah,
like
you
that
type it
spot
on the
between-
line.
On the line. That's where you type it.
Am I using this wrong? I don't see a.
No, you like click on the line right in front of it, and you just type it out. You'll just type out.
I'll be right
Oh
back.
wait, no, he's
Oh
talking
no, the
about
character
on the
sheet.
digital.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. My bad. I'm losing my mind. Wait. Does it? I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
It doesn't. I'm looking. It doesn't.
That is. I mean, I guess you can just stick them down in notes or something. But
Yeah, I guess.
Well, the problem with one of the things I had a problem with, I actually liked what they did in 5th edition is specialties in World of Darkness Old Edition. You had to spend experience points or freebie points or whatever the heck it was on them, and I was just like, eh. And with 5th edition, what they did was you don't spend freebie points or XP points on them anymore. Well, you can still spend XP points on it, but you don't spend freebie points on it anymore. Basically, if you put a skill or an attribute at above 4, you get a specialty in it. But you can only do it for 1. So you can't go, oh, I have 4 in firearms, melee, dodge, and I have specialty in all 4. No, you get to pick one of those. If you figure out a way to put 4 points in 3 skills, bravo. But yeah, and also with attributes, it's like getting the 4 points in attributes is not hard, but they were like, yeah, but you're going to specialize in one area or the other because usually you're not going to get 4 points in 3 different.
I mean, that is how it works here, right? Like any skill you get to a 4 or above, you get a specialty in.
At character creation, you can only go to 3.
Except in your attributes, those you can go. Pretty sure.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I was saying that's one of the things I like about the change they made. The other thing is with freebie points you could get 2-4, I believe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you could get the 4.
You can.
Right. Just not at character creation, basically, without the freebie points, anyways.
And the rule of 3 does not apply to backgrounds. Because that would be stupid. Oh, I'd like to have a 5. Well, you can't.
Yeah, you can just start out with 5 in resources. You know, most powerful ability in the game.
Yeah, no.
Hey, don't steal my thing.
Are we all going to be rich?
No, I'm going.
My backstory says I'm rich.
My backstory sort of says I'm rich.
My backstory says I'm poor. Well, my backstory says I'm fine, but not.
Your backstory says I'm the guy that drops a quarter into your cup when I walk by you.
Hey, now you could afford.
Doesn't matter if it has coffee in there or not. I'm just thinking you're sitting on the side of the sidewalk.
Some guy just sitting on the sidewalk, and you just drop money in front of him. He's like, "Dude, I'm just chilling."
Oh
Did
no,
you not want
there
the
was
money, or yeah?
there was a great YouTube video. Like these two girls came out of a like a bistro or something like that, and they see this little old woman standing by the trash can. And one of them just hands her their sandwich, and they walk off, and the old woman just kind of shakes her head, tosses the sandwich in the garbage can, and that's when the limo pulls up and picks her up. She's like, I was just standing here waiting for my ride.
All right, let's go down the list at the Roll20 bottom. So Scaly is first on the list there.
Oh, am I? Oh, great. Okay.
You are.
All right. All right. My guy's name is Cody Seabrook. That's what I went with. And he is he was born to a rich family. We'll call it that. But he's sort of the black sheep of the family, and doesn't want anything really to do with them. So he's moved out here and completely abandoned them for the most part, and is now living as a private detective inside of this lovely town. He is kind of mediocre at his job. He's got some weird quirks that make he's not good with people. But he's got his business partner that is. So she makes up for his failures. The only reason he's actually got a business is because of her. And let's see. Yeah, besides being kind of quirky, I don't know how much in depth do we go here?
That's pretty good. So
Okay.
you're a private detective, not good with people. General age
45-ish.
is the family new money or old money? Made
Oh.
money or
Old money. They're into politics.
Get off my thing.
politician?
Do what?
Get off my other thing.
Oh, sorry. Was your family into politics too? I apologize.
No, if you actually knew my backstory, I was saying that I'm kind of being groomed for my sister. They're like, oh yeah, you can go be a reporter for a while, but when your sister goes into politics, you're going to be her communications director.
Oh, well, okay. We're close, except I've already gone that route and got kicked away. So we reversed. I've already tried my.
No,
my
you're
stint
future
with
me.
So the families could be political rivals.
They could be.
There we go.
But no.
And neither of the two characters care about the political rivalry, but it is the case.
The interesting thing is my character, and the family does not want anyone to know that he is actually part of that family. So he is going under an assumed name at the moment.
Got it.
He's changed his name. He's legally changed his name away from the family name. So nobody would know to connect him to the family. So it's complicated. I'll give you my. There's a lot of reasons for that.
All right. Next is Owen.
All right. The character I've got this time is Sarah Conway. She is not from here. She moved here when she was about 17 because she did not like her home situation, and so she left as soon as that was possible, regardless whether or not it was a good idea. Spent about like the last 5 years. The 5 years after that, she spent just kind of working at a lot of various different jobs, some better, some worse. And not really settling down to any degree. And then the last 5 years, she's kind of been working as a research assistant at the library. So, whenever someone has some kind of research project or anything going on, then she knows where to find everything or which other place to call for the things and stuff like that. She was not too long ago engaged to a musician, like a guitar player, singer, kind of guy. And he died recently outside of the city. He was traveling, and she got really messed up by that, and she's kind of been on indefinite leave from her job. She also kind of works as a musician. It's not really a job as far as she's concerned, more of a hobby. But she does have a slight reputation just because of that in various bars, in that she's actually quite good, but doesn't really think about it that way. And yeah, I think that should about cover it.
And how old-ish is she then?
27. 27.
Okay.
Oh, there's nowhere to put age on this character sheet.
Yeah, just
There's
barely.
no room to put a lot of things on this character sheet. It kind of sucks.
Everything going in
I
there.
guess I can put it in like bio and info.
Go
Yes, there
look
is
at the original
bio.
character sheet. There's not a lot of room for anything.
But then again, you don't need a whole lot on your sheet.
Yeah.
A few dots. All right, next is Jeff.
I'm thinking about playing a sort of like middle-aged apartment manager named Carl Rekovic. He was one of a family of immigrants when he was a baby, but his family died and he got put into the foster care system. And he had a really, really rough time with the system, except for his last foster parents, who he cared a lot about, who lived in this town, and this is how he ended up here. And he spent most of his life drifting from job to job. Uh, he even tried to join the military, but kind of like bummed out of a boot camp, and has basically been, you know, things like convenience store manager, and anyway, he ended up managing some apartments. And one of those situations where you like live in the apartment building and you like take care of any problems that show up and call the various contractors and stuff. And basically is kind of a waste of a life. Oh, age wise, I would put him around 40-ish. So call 41.
All right, this apartment complex that he manages, is it fewer than a dozen
No,
residences?
larger than that. I'm thinking like probably like around
30 or
30
40
or so
units?
units worth. Something with like a couple buildings and like a garbage area and you know let's say about half and half multi bedroom units. So getting a decent traffic of people coming and going.
Okay, so not a single building, multi-story.
Right, a little bit bigger than that.
Okay. So each building would probably have anywhere from 4 to 8. No, probably more than that. Maybe 10 units each.
Yeah, sounds about right. Something like that. Enough so that there's like always like jobs to be done, and he's always got to be on call, that sort of thing.
Do you have employees, or this is all him?
He basically does it through contractors, right? He called the plumbers, called the cleaners, called everybody, make sure everything is locked and everything works.
But he's the building handyman. He doesn't have a guy for that.
Correct. But he doesn't do most of the plumbing if it's anything significant. He'll like unclog a sink, but that's about it.
All right.
Sounds good. Next is Jesse.
Oh, I have got this guy, Dr. Ezekiel Phillipson. He is a professor of anthropology at the university. He hasn't been in this city for very long. This is sort of like a tenure, sort of a almost possibly maybe tenure track position that, sort of might be able to be that. But for right now, he's just an associate professor. He's relatively new as far as the professorship goes. This is his first position outside, actually after graduating. with his doctorate. He's done some field work, both as at various levels of academic work, as far as studying folklore and different cultural beliefs around kind of like religious superstition, that kind of thing. Mostly in Europe, as far as those sorts of things go. He's got some background in Iceland and Norway, and so those are some of the places where he's done some study, and then come back. He's, so like I said, relatively new to the thing, but it's taken him a while to get through the process. He wasn't always the best student, which is why he doesn't have a particularly great position, but it's it works. It's here. So he's about, say, 32. So he grew up in, I would say, mid-Atlantic, probably like someplace like Delaware, Pennsylvania, something like that, and then went off to school in various places in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and then has ended up here.
Okay, so he's kind of like the young professor trying to probably really hoping to get some research papers to get cited somewhere, get published.
Right,
somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, hoping to make a little bit of a name as far as like helping to cultivate some students, and within the doctoral program that he's working in now.
Okay. I think my character would definitely have met yours a while ago, for the several years she was working as like helping out with research in the library.
There you go. Yeah.
So he's working on a doctorate. He's attending
No,
university?
he's got his doctorate. He's
Okay.
working now as far as like he's one of the sort of one of the newer folk who doesn't have like a ton of students that he's working with. And that's sort of like something that he's got, in the as far as the other doctoral students.
People aren't coming to this place for anthropology and folklore, so you're kind of having to do a bit of a sales pitch
Right.
on the engineering students,
Exactly.
try and find someone who's interested.
Right. Exactly.
Well, also, he could just be a research fellow. He doesn't have students. He is just, they want him to churn out papers.
I don't think this is the kind of college edge that would have a research fellow for something like that.
Yeah, I think it definitely feels more like struggling to get tenure, kind of a sort of a situation where really needing to help.
Oh, you're the liberal arts professor in the tech school.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like this is a community college. This is a community college in a mining town, so it was probably it was originally an engineering school, and then when the town was like comfortably wealthy, then it started to have a liberal arts program, and then that kind of fell out of use a bit, and now it's kind of coming back, but also there's like big tech in towns. The community college probably has like a shiny new engineering building that was paid for by some company. They just like sponsored to try and so they can get more interns.
I can almost see teaching here just because it was available and it looks good on a resume. But
right, and
every once in a while getting called to substitute or guest speak at the nearest larger.
Because being able to put on your resume, head of the anthropology department, as long as no one looks too closely at that, it looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely more of a like.
Yeah, it's when they call the school and it's like, so he was the head of anthropology? We have an anthropology department?
Right.
Yeah, the 2 students we had for that graduated last year.
The class started with 5. Nobody knows what happened to the other 3.
So this is like this is an opportunity. If you can get people interested and if you can publish some papers, then maybe this could have a prestigious anthropology
Right, or
department. But
or I
it
could
doesn't
or I
have,
could
like,
maybe
yeah.
get picked up and go somewhere else.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's more likely it because I had a couple of professors like that when I was in college where it was like they were there for a year and it was like, oh, better job, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. So yeah, exactly. Not really a whole lot of like close ties to the town. It's sort of a waypoint, I think.
Okay, okay. So he's not hasn't really been trying to put down roots here or anything like that.
No, yeah, exactly. So not as in the families elsewhere. Not really trying to put down roots. So if he's not been looking for any kind of you know significant other or anything while he's here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If nothing occult happens in about 3-4 years, he probably goes and works somewhere else.
Right.
And that leaves us with Arca.
And Arca leaves. No, so I will be playing Daniel Myers, who is the junior crime reporter for whatever we're going to call this newspaper. I just put like Gazette in my background, but the name can change. He is the junior crime reporter. He basically does all the scut work for the Metro section. It's like, oh, hey, go get the stats. Okay, I go get the stats. Crime stats and stuff like that, or that when they're released and stuff of that nature. He might get to write an article about changes in how much a speeding ticket will be, or zoning of where the school zones are. He doesn't get to write the really hard hitting crime reports and whatnot. His parents kind of helped him get the job in the sense of they probably bribed somebody.
Well, honestly, they probably didn't need to bribe anyone. It was just like, they're news people. So they just check the last name and are just like, huh, well, that's almost a story right there.
Yeah, but as I said, he actually went to the University of Virginia. His family lives in Richmond. They're in the capital. So he has a mom, he has a dad, he has a sister that is currently in college. And after she gets done with college, she is off to law school, probably Harvard. And basically, she is going to be the golden child. She is the golden child, even though she's a younger child. She is the golden child who's going to, follow in either mom or dad's footsteps. I haven't picked which one. I'm leaning towards dad right now, who was like state legislator of some type. And so yeah, as I said, he is basically, he lives in town, he lives near the college, he's probably in the dense residential area. As I said, he generally as I said, he's just a reporter. I put in the thing, it's like he has one of those leather messenger bags, which are relatively new. And he carries around like 3 or 4 notepads, a variety of different pens and pencils on him. It's like he's constantly writing stuff in a notepad. It's like, oh yeah, I need to follow up on that, or oh, I need to ask this question, stuff of that nature. And he's really trying to make a try at it because he wants to not go into the family business.
Okay. So his ambition is to become like a more prestigious reporter. Does he want to stay here? Is this like stepping stone kind of thinking in his mind?
His parents think of it as this is a holding place for him. And if he does get a better job, like, he goes works for the Globe or the Times, one of the big, hey, great, that looks great on your resume when you're head of communications for your sister's presidential run in 20 years. But his goal is to actually earn the merit of, hey, I got here on my own merit. I got here. I have a career. sorry, mom and dad, I ain't gonna help my sister. I'll help my sister out. I'll write a great report on her.
So
I'll write an accurate report on her. Okay, but
they
more what I'm
have
wondering is, like,
expectations of Daniel. Daniel doesn't necessarily want to meet those expectations.
Daniel's aware of those expectations, and he doesn't want to end up in those expectations.
And generally,
Whether or not he gets a choice in the matter.
The sister is the one that they really expect to bring pride to the family.
Yeah. I'm not the black sheep or anything like that, but it became pretty evident my sister got a lot of the better attributes than I did as far as politics and all that is concerned, and it was always just like, yeah, you go sit in the corner and yeah, you go read that book, kid.
Okay.
The dance star here is going to take the stage.
okay, but like, are you putting down roots in this town? Or are you planning to move, or is it like in the back of your mind you're going to be moving on at some point?
In the back of my mind, it's I'm moving on at some point.
Okay.
Okay. So now the questionnaire. Not all of these need answers. I don't know if you guys have discussed them or not, but some of them would be more helpful as far as flavor. So the first one is the bar that is most popular for the younger crowds.
So we need a name for this bar. Is that what you're saying?
He set up a loaded question here, man. I don't believe this.
It could
I
be
came up with one.
juice
I
bar,
actually
under 21 juice bar type of thing, or it could be mixed where they have wristbands, but college, probably the college bar.
Okay, I feel like there are two. There's one that's specifically like the college bar, which is in like the old downtown, and then there's also going to be one that's in the new downtown area.
Yeah, the college probably has a Rathskeller, so this will probably be adjacent.
I found a bar name generator. This is great.
Well, the name I had for like the new entertainment area was the King of Clubs, which is yeah, which is well, no, it has a card theme to it, but one of the big things they do is every spring break they hold a big Texas Hold'em tournament. So you go in, it's like it has like a bunch of different card memorabilia, stuff like that. It's like, hey, this is the card set friggin' Houdini. It may not be true, but like the card set Houdini used to do magic tricks with, stuff like that. One of those theme bars type things, but it's not, not that inventive. But it works.
Okay. It's like, it's pretty funny when you're drunk.
So that would be in the new downtown. That's the more
new downtown
touristy type, I guess.
Yeah, this sounds touristy as all hell.
Definitely, because the locals probably go there like once, like every year, and that's it, or during certain events or something, and that's it.
Do they
it's
also
probably like
hold open magic nights?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, that they have to. Yes, it's gonna be great.
Well, it's like you can play cards there, but you can't, you can't gamble type thing. But except for during the week, during that 1 week.
But they also have like magic, like people will show up and do magic shows and magic tricks and stuff like that. Probably not great ones. It's probably like amateur night most of the time.
Yeah. Open stage. The stage is there. Probably set nights of the week, but anytime anybody wants to get up there, they're fine with letting them do it. But they probably have like competitions or monthly events.
Go ahead and yeah. There's probably a monthly competition.
All right.
Now I did come up with two names for the old one, and this was just one was a joke. This going into what Ag was talking about was a juice bar / regular bar with armbands and whatnot. This one was called the Library, This was actually a club in Atlanta,
I believe it.
and it was it was hilarious because the thing of it was hey, where are y'all going? We're going to the library.
Yes, it's
mhm.
also the name of a strip club a few miles away from here.
Yeah, but we have one called the library around here too.
Of course.
Like I said, I thought it was fun. As I said, the other one I came up with was the Castle, which was a very classic pub-like bar,
Yeah.
3 billiards, a dartboard. The whole interior is wood with a warm brown finish and whatnot, and the lighting is with yellow lighting. So the old yellow lighting. It's like you walk in there and it's like, okay, I know there's somebody sitting there because I saw the shadow move.
We actually have a club named the Castle here that was literally built from out of a repurposed old cigar factory that's all made of like exposed brick and everything. It looks really cool.
Old brick would fit old downtown too.
It
yeah,
would,
for sure.
yes.
Any objections to that then?
No,
To the castle? Was what
put
we're
the
doing?
castle in old downtown. I like it.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like it needs to be more than like. I feel like the castle is what people call it, but it has like a longer name. It's Old John's Castle or something like that. There's got to be a better one for that. But
No, it's old Alex's castle. He made a run down the road.
yeah, Alexander's Castle. Alexander's Castle.
Castle?
That's the name of the.
I love it.
That's the name of the door. Everyone calls it the castle.
It's only the tourists that call it Alexander's Castle. That's how we know they're tourists.
That's what the tourist brochures say. Is check
Yes.
out Alexander's Castle, historic bar. And they go there and just a bunch of drunk college kids.
Yeah.
Old brick, former cigar factory.
I found a fun name for for a bar in the tourist one because it's like the fancy one. It's called the Crystal Water Parlor.
Oh,
So-
that's pretentious.
Yes!
Oh boy.
I love it. This sounds
Hey.
like this. I love this idea. You put that in the tourist district. It's great.
That hurt my soul somehow, man. Damn.
No, I love it. It's great. I saw the name. I was like, oh my god, we got to put this here.
If a Toreador doesn't run that sucker,
Oh yeah, that is for sure run by a vampire.
Yes, I'm absolutely. Can't be run by anything else.
So is that one of the ones for the older crowds then?
It's more for the tourist ones, but the upper class tourist ones. We're talking about the rich people who come into the hot springs. It's probably near what some of the most expensive hotels. That's what I imagine this is at.
That's like business lunch during the day, and then
Yeah.
like people.
This is where you like, if for people who are like maybe even new downtown people would take people there, like out of towners there to if they're trying to like do a business meeting and doing drinks afterwards. This is where they go.
The
Yeah, it's not a.
The Crystal Water Parlor.
Does parlor have a U in it?
I can if you want it. You can put a U in it to make it even more pretentious.
It does have a U in it. It's more pretentious that way.
Yes, by far, yes.
But yeah, this is not the kind of place that like you ever go to normally. But it's like when someone from out of town comes and it's like, oh, where should we go? Well, you should probably see that place once, I guess.
Yes.
If you're only going to go to one bar here, it would be most interesting to take you there. But it's not something you go to because you actually want to have a good time.
Because the prices are like 3 times as expensive as any other bar. So it's like, oh yeah, okay. You're only going there to impress somebody.
I'm still trying to pull my soul back in because it tried to run.
You only go there to impress people. Like you don't actually go there to drink. You go there to impress people. That's the place you take your first date, but never take them again.
Because you both hate it.
Everything like the bar stools, the bars, the tables, everything transparent.
Oh my god, that would be
Oh,
amazing.
God, yeah.
Faux crystal.
Oh Lord.
I don't think. Oh my god, glass bar stools. That is the worst idea I've ever heard. I feel like they tried that, and there's still some of the glass bar stools left.
The rest are
but-
actually like a
If
really
this is
tough
run
acrylic.
by a vampire though.
Oh,
wood
it
would
is
be
true.
bad. So
That's
it would
true.
almost make sense.
Well, they probably just changed it over to like steel instead. Like they're all
Well-
metal. Like there's no wood. It's all the seats are glass still, but the everything else is all metal.
Oh god, I don't have to worry about falling rocks. I gotta worry about a flying glass chair.
Yes, the things are heavy as hell. Okay, look. No.
Yeah, let's see a vampire give a flying riff about that.
Could be plexiglass or
Sure.
you know,
Yes.
transparent plastic, just so that it looks crystal.
Yes. Yeah. It's
A
going
lot
to
of
look.
the originals were actually glass. A lot of the replacements are plexiglass.
That was fun. I saw that. I was
Yeah,
like, I gotta do that.
that's a good one. Well, no, it's a terrible one. It's the worst name for a bar I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, that's good. We should have that.
Some of these names, man.
So do we want to default, or I mean, even detail a older crowd bar at the moment, or skip it?
An older crowd bar.
Let's
so
see. That would probably
Fools
be.
or the
Yeah, probably. There's probably like. Well, I mean, okay. I think we probably want like. I mean, I don't know if we necessarily need the older crowd one. The older crowd one is probably like that's for people who've been around since before the most recent tech boom, and it's just kind of like it's one of those places that just like feels like it's been the same for the last 70 years and probably has been.
Oh, here's a name: Lucky Poor Brewhouse. See,
Lucky
nice
Poor Brewhouse. There you go. That is a place that has not changed ever since Prohibition ended. This place
Yes.
opened, and it has just been exactly the same, and the same people and their children have been going here ever since.
There should be one called On the Rocks with like coal and glass.
Oh, it's probably like on a
Super
hill
fine.
somewhere. Like you have to actually like go up a giant hill to get to it. It's just literally the only thing built on a hill.
You probably have to. It's probably best if you put it towards the old district, the old housing district in the coal mine type thing. This
Oh yeah,
thing's-
it's up there close to where the old coal plant was. Like it was where all the coal plant people used to go to, and now it just
yeah,
kind of sits there.
it does not have a paved parking lot. This is gravel. Okay,
a
this
gravel
is
parking lot.
straight up gravel. Okay.
I love it. This is great.
And then I feel like in like New Downtown the Entertainment District, there are a lot of relatively disposable bars, but those are like the four memorable ones.
Yeah, these are the ones that you remember if you're a local. You go there if you want that. You go to the really whatever that one up there is for. Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So next would be, what is the popular dark and secluded place people take their dates?
Dark and secluded place. Oh, like a
Kind
make
of
out
like
hill
the
type of thing.
Yeah, that type.
Okay.
Of thing. Is there one?
I just came up with the classic, the local park that has a low hill that overlooks the lights of the town. Maybe if you go out past the park in the direction of like the hot springs, but you go out past the park and there might have been like an old quarry or maybe the site of an old where they were going to put a coal mine. And that's where like kids go to race cars around in circles type thing.
Oh, it's interesting.
That is the fun motor jock area. But then you have right down the road is the parking place.
I feel like it could be one of the along the rail line, and there's like an old railroad station that just basically like they replaced it with a new one, but just left it there, as well as some old rails, like actual like old trains. So they're like sitting there, and people just go there to make out.
Old rail yard. Okay.
Yeah, it's an old rail yard. That's just kind of like they put in new rails and they just kind of left the old ones. They didn't actually like pull them up or anything. They just kind of left them. And it's like this old rail yard that's sitting there with some old cars, and people just go there to hang out because it's nice and quiet. No one bothers them.
And then another quarry over by the hot springs.
An old one that I guess never got up and started. It like probably got shut down by activist or something. It's like, no, there's hot springs. Or maybe that's how they discovered the hot springs. And they were like, yeah, we can't put a quarry over here.
Where do the kids hang out? And kids does not have to mean young kids.
Well, I mean, okay,
So we're
so
looking
if
at
they're not,
like high school age.
High school
Yeah,
age, or
yeah.
you know, the people that the townsfolk considers kids.
So probably
under drinking age.
college.
We're talking under drinking age.
Well, we're talking about in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Where, yeah. We're not talking about modern time. We're not talking about like 2023. We're talking about early 2000, right?
Right.
First,
Bowling alley.
bowling alleys are good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should have a drive-in theater. We should absolutely have a drive-in theater. It's great.
It's kind of
For
run
sure.
down, and
Yes.
you know, it plays like not the greatest stuff, right?
The sound on half the places don't
Actually,
work.
actually, that's what makes Scaly's idea with the old train tracks is, you can't afford to go to the drive-in. You park further up the road. You get a couple of binoculars out.
Oh, Jesus.
I can see that, especially if they do the radio station for.
Oh, God, yeah, they might do the radio station thing. Yes, you're right.
For the sound.
Oh, that's sad, but true. And it would be
Oh,
hilly
man,
territory, so it
I'm
could
going
happen.
to change my concept and just be like the radio DJ for this town.
God.
All right.
We have like
Now-
one local radio DJ.
Well, no, it would be like the college DJ guy.
Oh, no, the college one. It's
Oh
like,
no! Oh no!
it's great. I love it.
The local sheriff's office or police department, do they have a reputation for a for the people organization or less? So
Oh yeah, we worked this out. We wanted to have some of the jurisdictional conflict, right?
Yeah.
I gotta shut up on this one because this is triggering for me.
Okay, is that gonna be like a consistent issue during the game, or?
No, I told you all the story. I seriously did.
Yeah.
But as I said, the way I wrote it up was the way I wrote it up, and you guys can disagree with me on this. Is we talked about this doing multi-jurisdictional, so the town has the police, but then like the outskirts, like downtown, the new downtown, and all that new area, that's where the police force is. And then the outliers, the suburbs and all that, that's the sheriff's department. And you can even make it where it's like the whole county. So it's not just limited to this goes all the way down to the cemetery. The police is about public order. So they generally just clear the streets by tossing them in the sheriff's jail, but do poor paperwork, which usually leaves people getting released. It's basically their way of, hey, you're too drunk to be in public. You're going to go cool off in jail. The sheriffs are a little bit more corrupt power tripping. The police chief is pretty ineffectual except when it comes to politics. The sheriff is a good guy, but he's unaware of the darkness in his department. Like, these guys are bit hard-ass gung-ho types that are most likely to hit you as ask you what's going on.
Okay.
Interesting.
So to break that down,
As I said, y'all guys could have entirely different, and I will default on that one.
Sheriff is a good guy,
But his
the
department
not so
has some
much.
issues. Makes sense.
Well, it's mainly because they are covering such a larger area, they can get away with more. Where the police are going to be in the public, like the police force is right there in downtown. They're in public view of everybody.
Right.
True,
But
yes.
But given that they're covering most of the county, then of course, obviously, we wouldn't be priority. I don't know how many places would be in our county, but cities wise.
Well,
Which county are we
there
in?
would be a office in the city for the county.
Right. What county are we in?
Don't
I
matter.
think it's like Bath or Bond or something.
To be named later.
Well, I think it's the retention pool, actually.
Yeah, that's the retention pool. Mhm.
Yeah, Bath County. Bath.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's fine.
Let's see. The sheriff's office was probably here longer.
And that's another thing that we can discuss is like, now when I use the term jail, are we talking about like the traditional jails that we have today, or are we talking about those old school jails where it's like 5 cells in the bottom of the sheriff's office type? What was it? Rambo First Blood. The cells were down in the basement and all that.
I feel like there's like it's like the old office, but they've like expanded it where they have the new cells, and they only use the bottom ones if they're like for overflow. Like they still would use them, but they try not to. That's how I feel like it might be.
All right.
Or they're using them for other things.
Yes, or using them for other things. Correct.
Sheriff's department over there on the west side of town.
Yeah, on the other side of the tracks. It makes sense.
Police department.
As I said, that would probably be in the new downtown area type thing.
Mhm.
Like the sheriffs have been here since the founding of the town.
Yeah.
Right,
The
which
police
is why they're closer
department
to
came
community
about
college.
with the new money.
Yeah, so somewhere in that new downtown, entertainment district.
The rich folk and the business folk want more
Mhm.
protection.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they would be right around there.
Yeah, probably closer to the entertainment than to the industrial.
Yeah, not as exactly,
So
and plus the
being
suburbs too.
Longer standing, the sheriff's department thinks of it as their town.
Right. I feel like the sheriff's department would want to be like any of the real serious investigations they want, where the police that are like, just deal with your drunkards, go away. We don't care about that.
No, that sounds about accurate. The police don't really want, as I said, the police chief is pretty ineffectual, except when it comes to politics. He'll be like, hey, we've been keeping the streets clean.
Mhm.
Oh, what about these ongoing investigations? Well, I'll default to my partner in crime here,
Yeah.
using the joke, and then direct it to the chief of the sheriff, to the sheriff.
Right. Mhm. We don't deal with those investigation stuff. Gotcha.
So the police department is newer, and as such, they try to put on a better face.
They're
They are more
Mhm.
for the people type, if not just because they're newer and they haven't really had a whole lot of time
to gain the trust.
Yeah.
Mind you, all these have been infiltrated to the gills by every type of supernatural on Earth.
We don't care about that stuff yet. This is all normal to us. This is our normal stuff.
All right. So specific officers' reputations. The people that are always on the news, the people that townsfolk would know. That have a reputation that stands out, either good or bad.
I'm not sure.
Is there one sheriff's deputy that everybody groans when they see driving around, or
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that everybody's always like, hey, stop and talk to them when they see them out and about, type of thing.
That one guy who every once in a while will walk into the Alexander's castle and just card everybody there.
Oh, okay. That person has got to be named Wally. Got to be named Wally. Wally. Yep. Is it deputy, right? Deputy Wally.
Yeah, it would be Deputy Wally.
Deputy Wally. That's who that is.
So he's that one.
But his nickname's the Wall.
The Wall. I love it.
Okay, I feel like that guy. He's not the worst.
He likes to think that's his nickname.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy's not the worst guy, the sheriff's department, by a long shot, but he is also kind of just like the worst.
Yeah, he's not the worst guy. He's just the one that everybody thinks is the worst.
Mhm, mhm.
No, the most
One
his,
sort of-
his nickname's the Wall. He thinks it's a good thing, but everybody's calling him the Wall because he's basically just, he is unmovable
Yeah,
in
he's
his opinions. You
he's just more
cannot budge this
annoying than
man.
he's anything else.
Yep, yep. The people who are actually bad in the sheriff's department are the ones you don't talk about.
Yeah.
No, you do, and then somehow you ended up drowned in the hot spring.
Ooh,
we don't talk about that. Look, we don't talk about how many people don't make it out of the hot springs. That's something we don't talk about, okay? Accidents happen.
Who's the one person that everybody likes to deal with? If you get pulled over and you see him get out of the car, it's like, okay, this is just going to be a talking to or a warning. It doesn't matter. I could have been doing 140 miles an hour down the highway.
Okay. We'll go with damn name generator.
Jody. He's kind of older. Yeah,
Yodi.
Jody.
Odie. Okay. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
with a J. With a J.
Jody.
Oh,
I think
older
you mean
woman.
Jody.
Jody. Okay, there it is. Okay, yeah, it probably has a couple kids or maybe even grandkids who are in the college and is just very understanding when it comes to your numerous problems and
Right.
things like
Yeah,
that.
doesn't take crap, but isn't.
Doesn't take crap, but if you don't
Take the
lie
time.
about how fast you were going, then you're just getting a warning.
I feel like he's
doesn't
the guy
take
that's
the
been on
time.
the force forever, but doesn't want to be sheriff. Like he could be. Everyone would want him to be, but he just doesn't want it. Like that's how I feel like this guy is. He doesn't want that
But-
responsibility.
He feels like he was
I say
stuck
we
with
go
him
one
or
step
he-
further. This guy,
He a guy
Yes.
that checks your trunk when he pulls you over.
Yeah.
now he's the guy that pulls you over, and you're like, "Shit, what did I do?" And it's like, "Hey, man, your left rear tire's looking a little bit low.
Oh yeah.
How about I take you to the nearest gas station? We get some air in those tires, buddy."
Yeah. The nice guy.
But no. I'd say we go one step further. He has the reputation of being the best shot in the department.
Oh.
And he's not the best shot with a handgun. He's the guy. They don't have a SWAT team. They call this guy with his hunting rifle.
Oh, he's got it right.
God.
Nice.
He's a nice guy. He'll go for the kneecaps and he will hit.
Sounds fun.
No, he's the guy
I
who
like
goes,
that.
"Okay, do you want me to take out his kneecap or his Achilles?"
Pick a muscle group.
Mhm. He's all his skills and like in people stuff, being nice, and then all of his other skills in guns. And that's it. It's his own skills.
Oh, and he's also in whatever church we want to put him in. He is in the choir, man.
Oh, he's a choir guy. Nice.
Oh boy.
Is he a police officer or a deputy, though?
This guy's got to be a deputy. I feel like this guy's been in the force longer than the police department has existed.
Yeah. I think he's a deputy.
There's a chance he was the first deputy.
I feel like he's like the only really super nice guy in the entire sheriff's department that everyone's like, okay, this guy's cool. Everybody else sucks.
Yeah, so anytime there's a questions about the sheriff's department, he's always the one they send out to talk to the camera. Okay, actually, how does he feel about the rest of the department is a question, I guess. It's like
He's just hanging out till retirement age.
Yeah, I
Get
feel
the
like
kids through college.
this is why I feel like he doesn't want to be sheriff, even though he could. He knows that the department has issues. Maybe not all of the issues. Like he may not know everything, but he knows there's problems.
he
And he
feels
doesn't
like
wanna-
if he was sheriff, he would have to deal. He would be responsible for cleaning that up, and he doesn't want to be that guy.
And
Yeah.
also, all the other deputies don't do any of the dirty stuff in front of him because they know,
They know
he
better.
ain't going to tolerate that. But they also know we can't fuck with this man.
Yeah, they're all just waiting for him to retire. Like that's what it is. Everyone in that department is just waiting for him to retire.
All right. Which company or job site has had the most fatal accidents as reported by the local news.
Oh, as reported. Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a tricky one. I don't feel like the hot springs would ever get reported.
No. I feel like the hot springs. I feel like the hot springs has had problems and maybe still does have problems.
Oh yeah.
But those do not get mentioned in local news, or they get written off as like other kinds of issues, like the pre-existing condition or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
Just
I will
because like
add
it would be
one
so bad for
that's-
PR.
that the people know about that is not reported. So the hot
Mhm,
springs is where the most people or the hot springs is where the population knows that the most people disappear from, but it never gets reported.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we
And-
just assume that it's like
Yeah.
they're tourists. Like we don't really pay that much attention.
Maybe they just went home early without their
Exactly.
suitcase.
and that we know isn't always accurate, but we know they're disappearing there.
Mhm.
They may not.
Well,
We know they are.
Well, actually, the thing that we could have it as is nobody's died at the hot springs ever, but somehow, right there on that rail line, somehow we find so many drowning victims.
Yeah.
It's scary.
No,
Oh, that's brutal.
that is brutal. I don't know.
No,
I feel like
I was saying the rail line's probably the place that most accidents are reported in the local news. It's like somebody stepped out in front of a train. Oh well, or somebody's car broke down on the rail line.
oh yeah.
That's that's an accident. Nobody was killed. Nobody was injured, but somebody's car got fucked up.
Okay. Oh, I think the rail line. Okay, that's where the rail line was. I
We
feel like the
found
rail
a
line
mangled
probably.
car with 2 dead bodies in it, hit
Yes.
by a train, obviously, but the last train hasn't been through town in 30 years.
That's just
Uh-huh.
weird. I feel like yeah, obviously the most obvious would be I don't know. Like what would be the reported place? Yeah, I guess
Well, maybe in the old industrial, there's
Yeah.
like something that's still active there technically, but it's not a growing industry, but it is. But there's something there with the. What?
it could be there is an old place that's sort of been boarded up because it's toxic, but every now and then people sneak in because they're idiots and get sick. Well, sneak in and that gets reported because those people whatever. But it's to keep people away from it because we
Mhm.
other reasons.
I also wonder if maybe there's like some industrial or warehouses that's like still a bit active, and the accidents there get like played up a bit because the new industrial section is like, oh, we could just, if those buildings were cheaper and for sale, then we could just grab them.
Yeah.
And maybe use those. So those get played up in the media a bit more.
Well, did we want to have the light bulb company?
The light bulb
sure.
company has the
That's
old light bulb
where the
company.
most injuries are reported from. Some dumbass dropped the halogen light and inhaled a bunch of gas. Whoops.
Whoops. I love it.
Okay, yeah. So there's a light bulb factory. It's not what it once was, but it's still there. It's still operating, and that's where the most reported problems are.
It's got those employees that are just diehards and are just waiting to retire. Hopefully, they'll survive long enough to do so.
Well, it's still technically profitable, so
Yes.
No. They aren't holding out for retirement. They're holding out for the workman's comp.
Yeah, yes, that's what it is.
That's where you go. Yeah.
All right, so the local news outlet, and this could be newspaper, TV station, whatever, that everyone believes is the most reputable.
Is it the college radio? No.
God, no, it can't be.
Sad if the
That's not
college
true.
radio is
That's
the most
impossible.
reputable.
Somehow all our other news sources are worse than the college radio.
I feel like
And the college paper is not a bad idea though.
yeah, it could be the college.
Actually, this is a good question for Arca. Like, do you work for is the news place you work for, is it the reputable one or is it not the reputable one?
Oh yeah.
Well, okay. So basically, the way I wrote it up was, and as I said, this was before I realized we were doing a college town type thing. Was I had it written up where the locals go to the local paper, but the paper that they distrust the most is the one that comes out of Richmond. because that's where that covers all the lives of the mayor, the politicians, the governor saying they're going to do this and this and make this community so much better, and then they get busted for embezzlement or misappropriation of funds.
Right, but we're talking about more locally. So you're saying the more local one is the trustworthy one? Is that what you're saying? And that's the one you're
because nobody pays attention. Nobody would pay attention to the college paper.
Well, I mean, it depends.
No, I'm just saying the thing of it is like the college paper is going to be reporting on college events.
Not necessarily. Yeah, it depends.
A small technical / community college, yeah, they ain't going to give a flying rip about anything outside the college.
Well, no, that's my point. There isn't enough going on campus for it to be a paper. So yes, they would. It's not a large giant thing where there's lots of things going on.
Reads college papers anyway. They're there for journalist students to practice.
Exactly, which would be sad if that was the good one. Anyways.
Yeah, but we also established that they have a liberal arts department.
True.
The question mark there is in the
wants
statement.
to be a know-it-all and report on everything.
That's true. Okay, so we assume that your local paper then that you work for is the good one. Is this what you're saying?
Well, no. I'm saying that everybody goes to the local paper. I'm not saying that they are the better one.
Well, I mean,
I'm going off the concept of this paper's been around the longest, and maybe the college paper is now honing in on it.
I mean, maybe, but you're the only one that can answer this question. Does your character work for the reputable one?
Well, unless I change my character concept completely where I'm still in college, there's no way I can work for the college paper. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, there's probably other. It's not to say that there's only one other paper in town. There might be another one. I'm just saying, like, is your paper reputable? That's it. That's the question.
I did say it was, but as I said, it sounds like we want to kind of go in a different direction, and I'm fine with it.
No, you're fine with it.
We're
fine with
it. Yeah, that sounds good.
Your paper is the reputable one. Whatever your paper is called.
There's a good paper, maybe that's probably like an older paper, been around for a good long while here. And then you probably have like a bit more of the tabloid journalism, and then you have the college newspaper, which is kind of like a bit, it does write about things outside the college, but it's like a bit sensationalist kind of thing.
Right, because they're all like students.
Yeah. They're all trying to write, something exciting, and
the question isn't which one is the most reputable.
It's the one that Arca works
everybody
for.
believes is the most reputable.
True.
Believed to be the most reputable.
Well, I mean,
okay, are we going to make that distinction here?
I mean, if you have a whole town that believes Fox News is the most reputable, then that's
geez.
what they believe is the most reputable.
Cringe. Okay.
True.
Dang it, my soul escaped into the garage. I'll be back.
The college newspaper could actually report on a lot and get it all right, but that nobody believes it.
Okay, yeah, no one believes it. Yeah, okay. Everyone believes that the oldest paper in town is the reputable one,
right?
Which is the one Arca works for.
Sunrise Gazette. The Sunrise
Sure.
Let's see. This is wait, Sunrise. The name of the town here?
Yes.
Okay.
Sunrise. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Gazette.
Okay. Do we want to go with Daily Sunrise? Because that is terrible, but
I love it.
Yeah, no, that works so well. That's so good.
The Daily Sunrise. Come on.
and the college paper just to the Daily Sunset.
Oh no! It's like they were trying to copy this in Daily Sunrise, and then they couldn't come up with anything good.
Yeah, so they're trying to be like the slightly edgy evening news, and instead they're just kind of sad.
It's great. I love it.
So how about? I don't know if I like the Daily Sunrise, but Sunrise Daily.
Okay, maybe it's like
No, that works because it's the Sunrise Daily and the Daily Sunset.
Maybe the college one just goes Daily Sunrise. And then
it might be like the company. The company is called Sunrise Publications or something like that. But the daily paper they put out is it's probably not like a full blown newspaper if it's daily. But like
it could be just the Daily.
Well, we probably short rise it. That maybe the locals just break it down to the daily, and then or something like that. Where like we shorten it for the day for the locals, but it's
Well,
officially
but it is written on
Daily
there, the
Sunrise.
Sunrise Daily.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it's sort of like the Boston Globe, the New York Times. We refer to it as the
just call
Time
it-
and the Globes.
Yeah,
And when you say the
Globe
Post,
on
you're
that.
talking. The Post actually gets really complicated because you could be talking about the Washington Post or the New York Post.
No one talks about the New York Post.
Not anymore.
So, which one do people think lies the most?
Lies the most. I don't know. I don't know if either. Like, I feel like the college one just people don't take seriously. Not that they're necessarily lies per se. They're just
Yeah, they think it's lies.
yeah. I guess they would consider that one. I mean, I guess it would be a twist. There is probably some local like I don't know. Yeah, I guess it would be the college one. Yeah, I mean it by far that one compared to the other one.
Okay, and what was the name of that one then?
I don't know. What's the name of the college? Someone named the college.
That is a good.
Because it'd probably be based on the name of the college.
I want to say like something School of the Mines or something like that.
Oh,
Sunset School of the Mines.
Oh, Sunset School of the Mines. Is someone talking? I can barely hear somebody. I thought I heard a voice. Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay. It's Foshka. I can barely hear you for a moment.
It doesn't quite ring. Sunset School of Mine. That's like we would not really find that as a paper.
Sunrise Academy.
Could be an academy.
This was a technical school, right?
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, when it was built, it was the only school though. So it's not like they had to define it from all the other schools. It is the only school.
I feel like that time period and everything. I feel like a technical institute kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sunrise
Sounds
Technical
right,
Institute. Yeah. STI.
Definitely don't call it the Sunrise Institute because that is for sure an insane asylum.
Right.
Yeah, that's down in the old industrial area.
Sorry, what was that, Jeff? People were talking at once.
That's what everybody shortens it to, the Sunrise Institute.
Oh God.
Oh no.
It's what the students call it when they're annoyed.
Desert Sand School of Fine Arts.
Fine arts, what?
No, you use the term desert, and we're sitting around in a mountainscape. It's like, where the fuck's the desert?
Looking at school name generators.
The Horizon.
Oh, the Horizon.
That feels like a bit too much for like a mining town engineering college.
But they're trying to rebrand themselves. The original name of the college could have been the Sunset.
Thinking of the name of the college. Thinking of the name of the college paper for the Horizon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one for the college paper. The Horizon. I like
college. I'm thinking about something like something Polytechnic.
Keep in mind it's older. Would we have
I feel like it has an original name, or it was actually just named after the guy who founded it.
Oh yeah, it could have been. You're right.
But then it probably has like a more modern, like Sunset Polytechnic kind of rebranding that's going over that.
Could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
What would we like to make Alexander's last name?
I need a Civil War name generator for everything here.
Putnam. Name him Putnam.
Yeah. Putnam College.
Putnam College should have been the original one.
Putnam Polytechnic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's the Putnam Polytech. Yeah.
So it went from being PP to
no PC to PPC. See.
Oh, PPC.
PPC now. See.
Or no, PPT.
Oh, sorry, PPTC. Sorry.
Putnam Polytechnic
College.
Institute.
Oh God, no! Why are we
I'm
adding
getting
institute?
institute out of here. It's way too much.
No, this-
EPT?
the college is fine. You can call it college. You don't have to put the institute at the end. I guess you could do just instead institute instead of college, but not both.
Putnam Technical Institute, now Putnam Polytechnic.
Yes, exactly. It went from technical to polytechnical because they wanted to be fancy.
Well, no. They added a liberal arts department.
No, you're right. that's what changed the name.
And now it's many.
Yes.
The second one
that-
makes it many.
That grand advancement there.
All right. Is there a mayor or a town council?
Oh, I think we're big enough to do a council.
All
Sure.
right.
Yeah, I would go with the council.
We don't have to go mayor.
We can do their personalities and stuff later, but is there anybody that stands out on it?
Hmm.
I wrote down, the Clarkstons is the oldest, richest family in town. They were the ones that owned the copper mine back in the day.
Oh.
And the eldest child, or the most recent child that's an adult, is the head of the treasury.
I mean,
He's-
potentially. I'd like part of the. You could make it. Let's make it a girl. We've had too many guys. Let make it a daughter.
I said adult.
I know you did. I'm just saying as a note. Like we haven't said any important girls. So let's make this one a girl. She's the head, and she's like on the on it, and she's like, you're right. She would be the oldest of the family. That makes sense. So sort of very old school rich, but not rich for our neighborhood at least.
Right.
Owns like a lot of old buildings around here, a lot of property, but doesn't have stock investments in those kinds.
Yeah,
of things.
yeah, exactly.
Clarkston was the last name?
I had it as Clarkston, but if somebody has a old time, we can't do Putnam.
No.
Clarkston's good.
Clarkston works.
Yeah, Clarkson works.
And it's an old rich name, so Prosperity.
Wait, what are you naming Prosperity?
Like Prosperity Clarkston.
Yeah.
Oh, the girl's
That's
name
her
is
name.
Prosperity.
The girl's
Oh, okay.
name.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. So she's a bit older because she's the head of the family or whatever, but she's probably on the council. And it's like I feel like it's that person that everybody knows. Like if you're local, you just know her.
And she's
There's
the town treasurer.
Yeah, and I also imagine there's probably streets in the old territory that literally have the Clarkson as Clarkson Street. Like there's a main road or something in the old industrial that is literally named after the family.
Well, no, that's it. Main Street. You have Main Street, and then the street that crosses right in front of City Hall.
Oh, it's
On
Clarkson.
the corner of Main Street and Clarkston.
Nice. So everyone knows her name. Their names.
Everybody knows her name.
They are the richest family in town. And who founded the town? Putnam. What was his first name?
Alexander.
Alexander.
Oh, Alexander Putnam.
Yeah, it's Alexander Putnam.
Wait. Well, did he found the town, or did he get killed during the Civil War?
Maybe both.
Hey, that could have been a descendant later on.
Okay, there you go.
Alexander the Third.
Alexander Putnam
Alexander the
the
Third is the one that made Alex's run.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what happened. It's the
God
third.
damn. Alexander Putnam the Third.
Yes, that
Alright.
is who created the town.
Alexander Putnam the Third created
Yes,
the
the
town?
third. Right. Because
No,
his
the
great
first one
grandfather
was
died
saying
here.
Alexander Putnam, the original, founded the town. Alexander Putnam the Third was the one that died.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this is pre-Civil War town.
Oh, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
Alexander Putnam the Third, who was known as Alex because he didn't want to be called Alexander like his dad.
Yes.
All right. So what? Anything special about the founding of the town?
Special?
Let's see. Like, was this like originally a religious settlement of some kind, or was this
Weird,
that kind of thing?
special, not special, but anything weird that
Any
stands
weird
out, any
legends?
unique legend,
I mean,
rumors.
I'm guessing we're having a Civil War battle being here at some point. That's what it sounds
Okay.
like.
Maybe like the colonists that massacred a bunch of Indians to get the copper mine.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We completely.
I had something a little bit more modern. I had it where the town was used as a slave trading post.
Oh, um, that I don't. That I don't. What? I don't
That
know.
could
That
work.
doesn't really make sense since we're not really near, like, where would be. Yeah, it feels weird.
We are in the middle of the mountains. We have mines, and we're right next to West Virginia.
Fair amount of sense.
I guess.
And yeah, it's south of the Mason-Dixon line too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Sure.
Well, no, I said that there was the rumor, whether over the years. Oh no, that's not true. This was a trading post, but it wasn't a slave trading
Oh,
post.
I see. Some
Because
tips to cover.
the Clarkstons kind of, we omitted that detail.
So the Clarksons may or may not have built their fortune in slavery.
Yeah. It was in trade.
I mean, they definitely owned the copper mine, and that's like how their fortunes have endured since the Civil War. That's why they're still rich and famous after that. But they may have been involved in the slave trade before that.
Well, the question is who was down in those mines during certain time period?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Alexander Putnam.
We are going to get so many angry people from Virginia yelling at us.
I mean, any publicity is good publicity. I don't know.
Let's see. That was founded the town, richest family. What does crime look like here? Is there heavy drug trade, prostitution, minor theft? Is it somewhat clean?
That is a good question.
This
I'd say
seems right
some
about the
areas of
time
town
for
probably have drugs.
crystal meth.
Yeah, I'd say there's a drug area of town run down.
Yeah, I mean this was an area that for like the last at least like 15 or 20 years before the last 5 or 10 was in a pretty severe economic depression. So it makes sense there'd be drug problems in this area.
Would y'all guys like me to type in on this?
Everybody can.
Okay, because I actually went into a little bit of detail. Hold on, let me find my note. We're talking about crime or prostitution and drugs, right?
What kind of crime happens here?
Sorry, I'm trying to find my note. I just had it. Um. Okay, so please note, part of this is real life experience. There is a motor lodge motel, a regular motel, and then we have the nice hotels that we were talking about earlier. That's in the new. But the motor lodge motel is a known hooker spot. The motel, which is a little bit nicer, is the drug distribution place for cocaine and crack. And then a couple of places on the edge, probably like trailer parks or the more rundown suburban areas. That's where you can go to get weed because somebody can just go up the side of a mountain.
All right. Well,
What
that
was
is
that last
that
part?
is a ray of ice.
towards the outskirts of town, like the older subdivision areas or the old trailer parks or whatever you want to say is out there. That's where you can go buy weed because they're growing weed up in the mountains.
That wouldn't surprise me.
As I said, this is actual from real world experience.
Okay, so this Motor Lodge Motel.
Motor
Well, as I
Lodge.
said, the Motor Lodge was the hooker place. The motel is the cocaine and crack place because meth hasn't really hit the scene yet. And weed is the outskirts of town, which is, possibly overlooked by the sheriff's department due to certain donations to the Widows and Orphans Fund.
So I think the Motor Lodge Hotel should be out in that area where the old quarry was, but close enough to the tourist district, because let's be fair, that's where that's where they're going to get a lot of their customers.
Out there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I typed it.
Sort of. It's still on the outskirts, but close enough to the tourist district that they don't have to go very far to go get to it. And not technically in the city limits, so they're immune to a lot of the other. The regular police force doesn't really care, and the sheriffs, who knows what they're doing.
So out that way. The harder drug area, say down here-ish, maybe?
Yeah, probably in the old homes area or in this area, probably.
Yeah, the cheap housing near the old industrial area.
Yeah.
You can also, that's where you can also have a couple, going back to Scaly talking about, hey, there's a couple of buildings out here nobody goes into because they're toxic. Hey, perfect place for a crack den.
Yep.
Yeah, and we can make the weed farms wherever the hell we want
them. They're more outside of the city part, so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like go far enough in any direction, you'll find one.
Yeah, we're getting into the Hatfield-McCoy's type territory.
All right, we have...
Over here, you got the Hatfields.
When was the town founded? Was pre-Civil War? Why was it created?
The mines, I guess, right? It's kind of like...
Yeah, I think the mines. Yeah, we kind of worked out a lot of the old industry things early on.
Okay.
Well, it could have started out as just hey, this is a railroad hub. Because it did have an old rail line. And then it's like, hey, we found coal. Hey, we found copper.
Nah,
hey,
the mines would have been first, though. They wouldn't have built the railroad line here first without knowing if there's something there.
No. What I'm saying is it's kind of like the railroad line was already here, and people were prospecting. And they're like, hey, we found this stuff. We didn't do it either way.
Yeah.
I think the mines were here first. I think this is like founded pretty shortly after the Revolutionary War. So that's way, or maybe before.
Are the coal and copper mines still active?
No.
No.
No, they're dead.
Okay.
Certainly believed to be.
The coal mine and copper mines may be dead, but like the coal plant might still be active.
Yeah, they're just bringing it in from somewhere a bit further away. But it's kind of like those are just the kind of industries that now that they're making money off of tourism, it's kind of hard to get the paperwork through to get any work done of those mines, and also it's all the easy stuff is gone at this point. You need to work pretty hard to.
So the new town industry is tourism and light bulbs.
No, there's new town industry. I think it was something we were going with something like with electronics manufacturing.
Yeah,
our
new industry has electronics. Yeah.
The old industry is light bulbs and the tourism just kind of showed up at some point around with the hot springs, and it's just kind of persisted through everything.
All right, what kind of electronics?
See, I was just looking it up. Like microchip manufacturing got pretty big in Virginia around like early 2000s. So
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
yeah, one of the first things I was doing on this call was just like looking up major industries in Virginia, and that apparently is one of them. And this place just it already had a college, and it already had like the light bulb manufacturing, so there was like enough technically competent people to get things started, and then they try to get even more people to move here.
Any notable disasters in the town history?
Probably a lot.
Earthquake, large fire, flood.
Probably a mudslide, probably a fire.
Let's see. I mean, those are
Mine collapse. Mine collapse with.
a mine collapse.
That's a given.
I feel like they're like the minor disasters that come up every couple years or something like that are a problem. But then like as far as like major ones that are like
Historic.
yeah something historic.
Something you're going to put in our local history books.
Yeah, I was thinking like a major collapse, like like 30 miners trapped, and like it took like a week to get them all out.
It could be that was the last collapse because that was the end of the mine. That would make it.
Yeah. That might be. That was when they shut down the mine. It was just going to be.
That goes to the story of that I read about for Cardiff, Illinois. They had a mine collapse, and it killed 7 people in the mine collapse, and then 2 months later, a crew was actually going out to go work in the mine. They were actually getting into the basket or wherever it is, so they get lowered down into the mine, and an explosion occurred. And this goes to that question of whether or not we want to have some supernatural hijinks happen and whatnot. Because the funny thing is the crew that was going into the basket was the first crew of the day, and it was like, how does a mine explode if there's nobody down there? And that one killed like 15 people. Because it literally launched the basket back out of the hole and propelled people.
That's a bit rough.
But as I said, we want to have some supernatural hijinks or superstitions attached to some of this stuff. Like, nobody goes out near the old coal mine because the last collapse, 30 miners got trapped in there, and we didn't get them. We never dug them out.
Yeah. I think that's fair, and I think that it was such a bad one at that point, and maybe there was a string of smaller ones, and this was like, this is the one that's like that just shut everything down. Even the population, no one wanted to work there anymore.
Yeah, and then like down in the industrial area, it's like some of those places where the toxicity is high and whatnot. It's like, this is where they tried to open up a forge for the copper, and that's when they found out how toxic copper was, and they didn't have proper ventilation.
How about also sometime in the 18th or 19th century, a tornado?
I don't know how common tornadoes are in mountain country. I really don't.
Yeah,
not completely uncommon. I was gonna say they're not completely uncommon.
Yeah, but in the mountains areas, that's why I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I like in the flat plains, it makes sense. In the mountains, really?
No, you still get them there.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I just figured with the higher altitude and whatnot, it's
probably more rare. Yeah, it's probably more rare, so it's fine though. I think that could be cool because it could be like a freak one,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
something that we're prepared for. I don't think they have tornado sirens in this town.
Oh wow, okay. Oh yeah, so they aren't super common, but they clearly do happen. Okay, cool. Yeah, we could have a tornado. I think also we could have an interesting thing with the copper mines. but our lovely rich family was able to sort of cover it for the most part. Like something bad happened with the copper mines, but everybody was bought out basically to not talk about it.
Oh, paid off.
Hmm. So it didn't get as much. It's like one of those things that all the locals know about, but it was never really reported on, and stuff like. It's one of those moments, you know.
So like an urban legend.
Yeah, a bit of an urban legend. It could be the poisoning thing, like they lost the locals were poisoned basically by it, and or it could be even more complex, right? I don't know. My brain isn't working right now.
So, tornado in the past, probably in the 1800s, it wiped out a large chunk of the population, and because of that, there is a tornado siren system that's never been used since in town.
I love it. But every now and then they do like a test. Like once a year they test
Right,
it.
but not the weekly testing that most places do. That happen.
And actually, that was my first big story.
Yeah, yes. Your first big story is the yearly
No,
test.
they tried testing one of the sirens and it fell on somebody.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Because it was so old, it hadn't been used in so long, the damn thing vibrated right off the pole.
That's hysterical.
Oh, brutal.
Oh. And then, how long ago did the urban legend something happen and everybody get paid off and hushed and?
Yeah, so since the copper mine isn't really functional anymore, the question is how long ago did it die out? Not sure. So I feel like this is a somewhat more fair, not like super recent, but more recent than the other one, you know?
Like 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
80s?
Like the 60s. I feel like this thing was running for longer than it probably should have because the family had been really good about keeping things quiet, and this just got a little too big. Like it was one of those things that like it still was quieted, but it's getting expensive for them to quiet things down. So they eventually shut it down after this event. So like like the 60s.
Was this event before or after the collapse
Of the coal mine?
Yeah,
After. I feel like it was running longer than the coal mine.
So the coal mine had the collapse where a bunch of people died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the coal mine had the collapse where a bunch of people died. And I feel like the copper mine was still functioning because it was basically supporting the town for a little bit when the coal mine died. And then, as other things started to kind of play into what's going on, the family invested, we'll call it, into other things and was able to slowly move away from their mine. But there were events happening around the mine that were hushed. That's how I kind of look at it.
So in the 60s, there was quote unquote something happened in the copper mine, but the Clarkstons allegedly paid large amounts of money to hush it up.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Something. Yeah. And the fact that there's probably like 10 million rumors of what that thing is, right?
Yeah, nobody knows for sure what it was. There's 1,000 different rumors. But people know that probably in the following years, there definitely was more people in town that had a bit more money than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Probably didn't last very long.
Nope. But and of course, they it was recorded that the family was investing in other businesses, probably starting to invest in the touristed district and things like that too, because they knew that their money for the copper mine was going to run out.
Yeah.
One of the nice hotels is the Clarkston too. Yeah.
Yes. They own the fancy bar.
Oh God.
Yes.
They own the Crystal Bar.
Yes, they do.
Oh God.
They own it.
There's probably a very special place in hell for all of us.
It's great.
The Crystal Water Parlor.
They own that. That makes complete sense that they would buy that. That they would name something that and do what they did to it. Yep, they own it.
afterwards.
That's just wrong.
Hey, they needed to do money coming in, so why not?
So they decided to just make a bar and fill it with glass.
Yes.
Okay.
Look, they didn't know what they were doing, okay? But they were trying.
And I mean, with as much of the politics going through the Clarkstons as they do, the Crystal Water Parlor is unfortunately probably where a lot of politics of the town happens. I mean, there isn't
Oh, yeah.
a ton of politics just given the size of the town, but if it does, then it'll end up happening there
Uh-huh.
an annoying annoying amount of the time.
All right. Who is the
Annoyingly, for
most-
anyone who is interested in getting involved in politics, they end up having to go there more than they want to.
So, welcome, folks. We are no longer playing Hunter the Reckoning. We are now going to be playing Clarkston Politics and what happens to Sunrise.
Oh yeah, always have been.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, none of our characters know about magics or monsters, so
Mhm.
that's basically what our lives are.
That's true. Local politics.
Who is the most famous person that ever lived in the town?
I mean, did we already go there? That, or are we
Not
thinking like?
necessarily.
Oh, okay, the most famous person ever lived in the town.
Let's
Should we
see,
have like
is
a
this
movie star?
Okay, yeah, maybe a movie star from something.
Yeah. We maybe our town is the place for a movie star that they were born and raised here.
I came up with something a little bit simpler. I just said like Connor Conway, a famous photographer who went off to work for Vanity Fair. Doesn't have to be an actor.
Yeah, sure,
Oh,
that
that's-
works.
Yeah, I
Or,
guess.
or it could be like a TV, not actor. Going back, hey, you want to know why the college radio went so bad? It's because the original DJ got a really great job in New York.
Oh no! Wait, our claim to fame is a New York DJ. That is so sad.
And now what we have is a bunch of college DJs trying to be that guy and
Oh
not
my god,
doing
that's
it.
even worse.
Okay. I feel that's got to be the second most famous person to come to this town. We need
definitely.
someone better for number one.
Oh,
That's like the one people are most unfortunately aware of, but not but then there's a more famous person who's like people are surprised. Oh, he came from here. That's crazy.
now we know why they created the liberal arts division, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe, or it could be a writer. Writers love like mountain towns.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a writer. Maybe
Or-
they actually like they this is where they like based their novels out of, is our town, even though it's not. It's technically the two towns over, but we pretend it's our town.
If you want to go for like famous but relatively, like the DJ guy, he's the most well-known famous person, but it could have been one of the signatures on the Declaration of Independence.
Oh God, no, we're not going that route. That's going too much.
Or maybe it's like
no, he's from here. He's from this area, but the town didn't exist.
Oh right, we lay claim to him.
It goes right there with what you were talking about. He's ours. No,
so
he was
funny.
born like 2 streets down and to the left. The log cabin. That ain't our fault that, we didn't have a road here.
Yeah, it was a cabin that, that suspiciously was built several years later, but we don't care about that. No, I don't know about that. That's a bit much.
Or maybe there's some country song or something, or some folk song that mentions our town by name.
Oh, there you go.
You got like Copperline or Country Roads or something like that that just like mentions our
Sunrise.
town in it somewhere.
Sunrise,
Because-
Virginia is mentioned. That's funny. I love it.
And people are always confused because you say like, oh yeah, that's talking about this town. And they're like, what? I thought it was just talking about like an actual sunrise. No. You got to read the lyrics, but like it's talking about a place there, not just the concept of
Yeah.
sunrise.
Yes.
you have to explain it every time, and he only put out like one song that referenced it, but he is from here, and people know about him.
It's like I'm looking out over the mountains, watching the sunrise, and nobody realizes he's not talking about the event. He's talking about the place that's set down at his feet.
Yeah. It's like one of those trivia things that comes up anytime anytime there's a trivia night that involves music, and that this artist comes up, then there's
So
like,
a famous country singer.
Sure.
Oh, hold on. I got to follow up on Scaly's terrible bar. That's where ballroom dancing goes on.
Of course they have ballroom dancing. Why not?
No, I mean there's a ballroom dancing tournament.
Oh, they have a
God.
ballroom dancing tournament. I love it.
Why do we just keep making it worse?
In the crystal water parlor.
Yes. Yeah.
That is, I swear to God, that is the first place that's getting burned down in this game.
You know what?
I don't
You know what?
how, but we're gonna burn
No,
that
you cannot
thing to the
burn that
ground.
down. What are you talking about?
It's going to be haunted with like some kind of mirror spirit or something that like feeds off of our reflections, and then you have to break every single piece of glass in there to kill it.
Oh God, no.
Okay, so any significant local events such as Founders Day celebration, local Shiners convention,
Okay.
or is the ballroom dancing tournament?
We have the ballroom dancing tournament, and as I said, spring break Texas Hold'em tournament.
So, a question: do we do like weird Civil War reenactments here?
Oh, you want the reenactment of Alex's run? I see where you're going.
Yes, Alex's run
Yeah,
is going to
okay.
get reenacted.
Yeah. Okay. There's a historical reenactors club with like they got their small local museum, of course. And there's a historical reenactment club, and they periodically do a show of Alex's run.
Yeah, it's like a 1-year thing that they set it all up, and it's like they try to make it this like big festival, big in quotation marks. It's locally popular. We'll call it that.
Yeah.
Like it's not really a tourist thing. It's definitely more for the locals. That they'll bring in. They'll put up stands and just like a normal little festival thing. But it's kind of out in the skirts of the city. It's not part of the city, so that's why no one else knows about it.
Most of the people that actually participate still have their grandfather's uniforms tucked away.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But also it's kind of like it's also kind of like a local craft fair and like musicians or whatever, and it's like their local cultural festival, but it's the thing you don't really invite the tourists to so much.
Yeah, they might show up, but
they might show up. They might show up, and you'll take their money, but it's not marketed towards tourists. Unlike a lot of other things in this town, I feel the locals probably have like, this is our thing.
This is our thing.
This is the thing we're not changing to accommodate the new people coming in. We're keeping it this way.
We get together, we do things. Some people set up a kettle and fry some pig skins or some Twinkies and fried stick of butter.
Yeah.
Okay. Any historical events of note, such as witch hunts, the coal mine collapse, happen?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Alex's run.
Alex's run. Yeah, don't forget that.
And also
Alex's run that turned into Graveyard Run.
Well,
and the Copper Mine incident.
Run?
Sure, we'll call it a battle, optimistically.
Yeah, yes. This is why the funny thing is the reenactment seems to like fluctuate on how big it really was. So there's a bit of discussion and debate amongst them about how big this was. So it's like that. It's like small group of historians that will debate this one tiny little battle that no one knows about.
Some years there's 1,000 people out there doing a reenactment, and some years it's like 3 guys on horseback.
Yes.
Portraying, they were running intelligence from one end to the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm just feeling sorry for Dr. Ezekiel over there because that's probably like half the humanities department is Civil War historians arguing about this one battle. That is what his lunch break looks like most days, and boy howdy, that makes him think about new jobs.
Right. Sure.
Okay.
Well, actually, I went further south, Scaly. I don't know if you did. I came across Jim Dave Run.
There's so many runs.
Oh,
I
damn.
got to, I had to stop looking because I was like, I'm going really far.
All right.
You
So
ran
weapons.
so far away.
How accessible are weapons? Are there guns or hunting stores?
I mean, it's
This
West
is
Virginia.
friggin'
now.
Virginia.
Definitely hunting outdoors.
Yeah, there are guns.
All right. Can you open carry legally? Do you need a concealed carry permit? Can you not?
I feel like you can, but a lot of the like newer you can open carry, but a lot of the newer areas will like
Frown upon
they'll
it?
like have signs saying no, not in here.
Yeah, there's like a few businesses or whatever that might do that, but for the most part,
Mostly, you just have to watch out for like the school zones.
yeah,
Mhm,
pretty much.
mhm.
Yeah, around the school is a little bit more like uncomfortable with it, but pretty much anywhere else. Maybe not the touristy area. They don't really appreciate it.
I feel like you go to the touristy area and a lot of the businesses will say like please no firearms within the establishment.
Yeah,
And things like that.
So
pretty much
typical,
anywhere else.
Not around schools or government buildings.
Yeah.
Mhm. And technically you're allowed in the tourist areas, but none of the businesses like it when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just don't appreciate it.
They often
Is really
call
what.
the cops, and the cops show up, and it's like, no, they're allowed to. Well, we
Yeah,
don't want
it's
them
like
here.
you get the occasional right. Most of the
Yeah, and
locals
then-
just don't do it because they don't want to be harassed. It's basically it.
Yeah, you call the sheriff's department on them. That they show up and just start they just start discussing firearms for 30 minutes in front of your store. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What about fireworks?
Oh, I don't know. What are there statewide issues with fireworks in Virginia? I wouldn't even know.
I don't know, but you are not too far from a forest.
True.
There's
That
a
is
lot
very
of
true.
woodland areas.
That doesn't really matter.
No, some
Not
some
in Virginia.
places.
If it's fairly rainy, then it's probably not an issue. I would imagine
In-
during drought seasons they would say no, but for the most part, I don't think it'll be a problem.
I think Virginia. I think it's probably very unlikely that there's places there where people are going to be worried about it.
Yeah, I don't
In
think
Virginia,
so.
it is illegal to possess, use, store, sail, or handle any firework that explodes, rises into the air, travels laterally, or fires projectiles into the air. Ones that
when
stay on the
was that?
ground are illegal.
When was that implemented?
That's a good question.
Yeah, here's one. You have to be 18 or older for long arms and 21 and older for pistols.
Oh yeah,
That one's probably been around for a while.
Yeah, that's standard, I think.
Yeah.
Countrywide for the most part.
Yeah. And that's generally for purchase, I believe. So.
All right, let's see. Many types of fireworks are illegal in Virginia unless you are a licensed contractor.
Yeah, so I guess if you've got a show for a fair or something like that, then.
Yeah, so basically we probably have like a local business that contractor that handles all of our fireworks issues.
So typical fireworks stand stuff, the stuff you set on the ground, and fountains are fine. There's probably illegal fireworks available at places,
Right.
though.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
I don't know.
Yeah, or just depending on how far is West Virginia.
It's literally right over the border.
Not far.
Like it's not that far.
So like people probably go there.
Oh yeah, that's true. They just go there to get their fireworks.
Yeah,
Uncode.
I think my wife was telling me because she lived in Indiana, and I guess at one point Indiana, they may still do it, I don't know, but Indiana and Kentucky both had laws that you could not buy fireworks in state, but there was nothing about using them in state, so they would each cross each other's borders to buy them and bring them back.
That's funny. I feel like I feel like
I-
even
my-
if they're illegal, the sheriffs and the police don't really care that much as long as there's no major fire risk that they can tell, or they're not like if they're doing it
Yeah.
like, or if there's a drought, like if there's been like if the forests are dry, they would absolutely enforce it because they don't want a wildfire. But for the most part, I think they just don't care.
Yeah,
Like-
when there's particularly hot summer, then like some guys in the fire department will show up at the local high school and the college, and they'll give a talk about like these are the problems with
Yeah.
firework safety
Right.
and
About firework safety. Yeah.
don't fuck around, we won't find out. Yeah.
So how available are the illegal fireworks in case you need something like Roman candles so you can launch flaming projectiles at people?
I don't think it would be hard to find.
I think you ask about like 15 college students and you'll find a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah. It's the college is where you would
Yeah.
find it. That makes sense.
Okay, so here's one. Open carry of a handgun without a permit is legal in Virginia
Yeah.
at age 18.
Yeah, see, makes sense. I also feel like you could always get somebody who's like going to travel over to West Virginia to buy all you need and then travel back. So like you could always do that
Right.
too. So
There is also 18.2-308.09 states that any place that you can consume alcohol, licensed restaurants or
Guns.
clubs, you cannot carry a concealed handgun into those. It's prohibited.
yeah, that's pretty normal stuff. Okay, I think we are good with the gun stuff. So pretty normal stuff.
Though I'll be perfectly honest, I'm kind of finding a gray area when it comes to fully automatic weapons.
Not really
That's
surprised.
because fully automatic weapons are illegal and they have been forever.
That's why.
No, I'm
No,
fully
on a
automatic.
federal
No,
level.
no, this is what I'm reading. Fully automatic firearms, machine guns, are required to be registered with the state police.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there saying a private citizen cannot own a
Well, hold on.
machine gun.
So the problem here is that it has to be registered, but the registration process is one of those like annoyingly complex things that almost nobody can pass because you actually have to justify why you need it. And if you cannot, then you're not going to get it. So it's not that you just fill out a paperwork and you get it. No. You have to literally justify it. So almost nobody can actually get approved to have it.
And not
So
only
that's
that,
what happened.
the people that do have legitimate reasons, typically you have to sign a waiver that the ATF at any time can come into your home and inspect it to make sure it's properly secured and protected. And
Yeah.
And
so
see,
like
this is where the
it's not easy.
firearms license merit comes into play.
yeah.
all right, last
If you
question.
want to spend two points, you can get it.
Since we have an entertainment district, what does the entertainment infrastructure look like? Obviously, we don't need to drive to the next town to watch a movie.
Gaudy as fuck.
No, I mean, like you probably have like,
Your
you know what?
Crystal
That was the
Palace
time
alone.
of malls. There's a giant mall there. That's our mall.
I feel like
Hey,
I feel
we
like it
have the
was
Stranger
built to-
Things Mall.
Jeez.
Besides,
I feel like the
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like the mall was probably built to appeal to like out of towners and tourists, so it's not like bad, but also like there wasn't an entertainment district in the 70s, so there's not that old entertainment infrastructure. There's no old disco or anything like that. So it's all like fairly new and fairly vanilla.
Yeah.
It's
It's to draw in some of the tourist a little bit from the northern area, from the tourist district, but to also be at least somewhat appealing to the suburbs and new downtown, like they're all there, you know. So it ends up being vanilla because they don't know who to please.
No, we actually have a large mall, a very large mall. Why do we have a large mall? Because it's larger than the mall just over the border.
Jeez.
So we are
It's bigger than
drawing people from West Virginia to our mall.
Do you have?
so yeah. I feel like there's the most boring and there's like a very dull entertainment district. I also think is there an old theater in this town?
That's what I
Well,
was
we have a
asking.
drive-in theater. Remember, we have that old drive-in theater.
No, like an old playhouse kind of theater.
Oh, that kind of theater. Oh, yeah, we should. Oh, we should absolutely have that.
Okay. That's probably
Oh,
not
here,
like
no, well, hang on. I need to do a follow-up. Do we want to make it an old-style indoor theater, or do we want to have one of those like open,
God, it's Virginia. It's
carved
indoors.
out of the side of a mountain? Amphitheater. That's the word I was looking for.
It's a college town. It's indoors. It probably has like Rocky Horror Picture Show on Fridays.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. What?
No. That's where all the money went to the liberal arts. They built a new theater on the college campus.
Oh, jeez.
Oh Lord.
It's an entire, that's the liberal arts building. Like the upper floors are the classrooms, but that whole bottom floor that's the stage. That's the everything.
God. I guess that
And
makes sense.
that is where he has been banished to, folks.
The college has an indoor theater for the performing arts. What about movie theaters?
Yeah, I feel like the entertainment district would be like I think the entertainment district would have an old school theater though. It makes sense.
They'd have the movie-plex and
No. We're talking plays.
No.
Plays. We're talking when we say theater.
Well,
yeah.
That one.
No,
Actually,
right, but I think
I got an idea for
a
that.
lot of those have a drop-down screen that they can also do.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it's that classic one-screen movie theater, like. We're talking about like 1920s. It's like this huge thing. It has balconies and stuff like that. So it's both a movie. It was originally a theater, and then they converted it into a movie theater in like the 20s, and then they went back to being a regular theater.
Oh, I see. Sort of. So it's like it's been updated a little bit, but not too updated. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, it was like the Colossal or the Centennial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've actually been in a classic one that was a big old style stage, but they built a wall down the center of the seats and separated into 2 movie screens.
2 screens.
Nice.
I've been in one like that, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course you have the mall actual movie theater, which is in the mall, because that's fine. That's for the new fancy. That's where the kids go. That's fine.
And this is 2000, so this like a 3 to 5 screen theater.
Yeah, that makes
2
sense.
to 3 screen.
No, it's probably closer to 5. I think at this point we've gotten big enough to handle at least 5 screens. For the mall, like when the mall was built, like they were definitely looking forward to this growing city, of like, oh, okay, we can put in some decent number of screens and still be good,
And the entertainment district has a stage theater that can convert to show a movie.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of close. Yeah, it's one of those things that's like probably kind of like just outside of the edge, somewhere over here, like close to the old downtown, but not too far. Like somewhere in that middle section, because it's like it's not in the new entertainment district that was sort of like built for the tourists. So it's just a little on the edge.
Actually, we'd be closer probably to an 8-screen theater, because I'm looking at theaters that were built in like the 2000s.
Are they roughly 8 screens? It could be 8 screens.
A lot of them were actually 12 to 18. But I was like, we're not that big of a mall.
No. How about for the entertainment district, the stage theater also like a music hall?
Yeah, it could be a music hall.
That's what I was saying. If we want to, we can make it where it's like the community center. Like, this is where the town hall... No, this is like where the big town halls and instead of being in the Lily B courthouse, it's over here with all the seating.
Well, I would say it's kind of close because it's getting close to the old downtown, but it's a little bit away from all of that. Like I think it was probably built roughly similar, like the old downtown and that old town hall and stuff is over here, and then you have like this just a little bit over and closer to this area kind of thing. So it's close, but it's not right on top of everything.
Well, the other thing is it could be this is where the community events are announced from. This is where the parade starts.
I see. Oh, I guess. I guess it could
or finishes up. You get done with the parade, you come inside, you have a candy apple, you get some popcorn or whatever. I'll be honest. It's that location.
Maybe I feel like they would have built another building for that, because I don't think as the city grows it would be big enough to handle something like that. But yeah, like maybe it was in the past, but probably not anymore.
Well, no, I was saying like the classic 20s type theaters that was actually designed to have 300 to 400 people in it.
Sure.
Could anybody hear? No.
But yeah, anyways, yeah. So, and then I feel like the rest of the entertainment district is sort of just scattered with bowling alleys and things like that, like just
We
hobby
have to have a
shops.
roller skate rink.
Yeah, whole roller skate
Bowling
rink. There you
alley
go.
and a roller skate rink.
Yeah, a few hobby shops here and there, kind of thing. You know.
I don't know. How popular is hockey in Virginia? Because I don't want to leave out ice hockey.
I would imagine that we might have like an ice rink, but I don't know if it's hockey for like we might have a local hockey, like where the
Well, no. I mean, it's like the local kids.
yeah.
play
Maybe we
hockey.
play the kids from West Virginia. We play some of the towns, like
The grudge matches.
the grudge matches.
We are carrying the entire hockey grudge between the states of Virginia and West Virginia on our shoulders here.
Yes, exactly.
We are so going to hell.
All right, that's all of those.
I feel like it'd be funnier if like if the West Virginia team. I feel like it'd be funnier if the West Virginia team didn't actually care. Like we're like all into it, and we're all like, "Yeah, that's our rivals," and they're like, "Okay, dudes, whatever."
Yeah.
They're just chill. They're like, "I don't care."
We just needed a sport for little Johnny to play.
Yeah. Like we're like super into it, and it's like the other parents come in, and they're just like, "Yeah, they're just skating around, right? Like chill, people. They're much more chill than we are for whatever reason." It's like we don't got a football team. We have a high school hockey team, and that's what we get into right there.
Oh no! We still got the football team. Do not mess around with football in any southern state. I will warn you of that now.
Oh please, our football team sucks. Okay, this is why no one cares. Everybody's into the hockey because our football team sucks.
Yes, but we can't go off of your life experience in Florida.
Football teams in Florida are good, but don't complain about that now.
No. Remember, we also have the college polytechnic, so we have like we don't even have we're like a half a school.
Yeah, this is why I said we're not. No, they don't play football here. They play hockey, and that's it. They don't do actually. It's like whatever. We might have a small football team that literally loses like to almost every single game. That's how I feel like it is.
No. Our original, and that's one of the rumors is our original football team at the college somehow got lost in the hot springs.
Oh, okay, yes, that's what happened.
So they kind of went, maybe we shouldn't do football anymore. How do you feel about hockey?
It's great.
All right, so a few general questions here. There is somebody in town who every one of your characters dislikes. Who is it?
Oh, Jesus.
He's got to be. Oh, he's not going to come up with the actual like really bad deputy yet, have we? We came up with the annoying deputy.
That
was Wally.
Deputy Wally.
Oh no, the really bad one. The guy.
No, Wally is the annoying. Deputy.
You know what? I know exactly who we don't like. It is the manager, not the people who own it, but the manager of the Crystal Water Parlor. Everybody hates him.
What does he do besides manage that?
Because
like he's got to. Okay, it's got to be something involved with the college at some point. That would get him to the rest of our characters.
Oh, true. I feel like what if he's like a part-time professor at the college and he teaches like business or something, but he is so stuck up and snotty.
Oh, okay.
Or
he's one of those
that's
people.
a place. Is that a location where like fancier events are often tried to be held, but it's a pain in the butt to work with the guy?
Yeah, that's basically
I have an idea. What about a developer who's constantly trying to expand their new area, tear down old buildings, renovate parts of the college, stuff like that?
That could be good.
Real estate developer, the classic.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like this idea. Yeah, the guy who's just trying to like tear down every single old building in the city.
Yeah. I mean, we've got enough annoying old people here. Let's make some of the new industry.
He's like some new out of towner guy.
Yeah. He doesn't have any respect for Alex's run.
Okay, everything.
the issue with that is actually most of our characters don't actually care that much about this particular town. Like a lot of our
No,
characters
but
like
we
we
care
moved
about
here,
Virginia. So if the guy's from West Virginia, we just
Oh, God.
automatically hate him.
What if
Oh
he-
God! What have you done? He's the enemy of the entire town. Actually, no. We pride ourselves on the fact that all the West Virginians come here.
True. Oh my God! What if
They
he's
just don't necessarily leave.
No, he's from like California or something. Because that's
No. We gotta make him from like New Hampshire or New Jersey.
why.
You make him a friggin' northerner? Oh Lord, have mercy.
Actually, which is
What if
worse, Northerners or West Coasters?
You know
I'm
what?
not actually sure.
Seattle. See,
We have a winner.
He's north and west.
He worked for Starbucks.
Oh, he wants to bring in Starbucks. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
There
he
we
already did bring in a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh, that's why we
And
hate him, because he brought in the Starbucks that killed like the coffee shop in town. That was like everyone's spot, but then it's like what? Wait, you just killed it. What happened?
Yeah, we had a place that was known as like the Iron Skillet. This was like the diner. You went to the diner, you got food. They had really good coffee, and then we
And
got
he tore it
this.
down.
We get burnt beans.
I feel like this is the guy. He's already brought in like 2 or 3 chain stores to the area, and that's why everyone just hates him. Just can't. stand him.
Yeah, and he's probably working towards the like in the old areas, trying to like. So maybe he's actually targeting some of these like areas between the old downtown and the dense residential here, and sort of trying to expand that dense residential into the old downtown. And nobody wants him to mess with the old downtown.
Oh, and I know I wouldn't like him is because he's always bringing litigation against protesters or people who are breaking onto his property. With, you know, and I'm having to report on it because it's criminal. And he's just always in. And it's like I gotta write another. Mr. Stevenson has done this again, type thing.
Okay, so a Seattle businessman that came to town bought out a very popular local diner.
Yep.
Tore it down and built a new chic
something.
Starbucks. We're going with Starbucks.
coffee
Not
shop.
something chic, just like a chain store.
Yeah,
just
chain
something
store.
that's like
Dairy Queen
chain
or
box.
something
Dairy
like that.
Queen. He's even
like
replacing
a
with
fucking
Dairy.
Dairy Queen.
I love it.
A new ice cream parlor that nobody likes.
Yes, there you go.
Everybody hates Dairy Queen. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, people still go there, but goddamn, why did it have to be a Dairy Queen?
Yeah, but that was like just the start, and then he tries he always trying to buy up other.
You're supposed to keep that shit in the mall where the tourists look at it. We don't.
Yeah,
have to worry
right.
about it.
And he's not buying available property. He's going after the popular places, thinking the visitors are already drawn to that spot.
Location.
He keeps trying to buy out popular spots for his chain.
Yeah, and older areas because it's cheaper. But then you have those weird ones, like you get the people who will sell, but then you got the people who will not sell, and it becomes this like he's got this like weaving of different properties that he can't really do anything with until the other people sell. So,
oh, you know what? Here's the real reason why everybody hates him is he bought out the old pharmacy and brought in a Walgreens.
Jesus.
And we're talking about old Phil, the pharmacist, man. This guy has filled everybody's prescription since the day they were born in this town.
I love it.
And he bought old Phil's pharmacy out from under him and built this god-awful Walgreens where you got a pharmacist named Tim who's only been, alive for 5 years.
It's literally
Only
called
been alive
Friendly
for 5
Game
Phil's.
shop name generator.
Wait, no.
Creamy explosion.
No!
Nope. Cut the stream.
No. Royal Scoop.
Okay.
The frostbite chunks.
Frostbite.
What
chunks.
website are you doing? I swear that's a joke website.
Actually, what the Frostbite Scoop? That works.
That sounds. Why would you name it that?
No, hold on, I got it. The Rocky Road
Just
Creamery.
oh, that sounds so. You know what? It actually sounds bland enough that it makes sense.
The Rocky Road.
The
It
Rocky
does
Road
work. It
Creamery.
does work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was going to name it Country Roads, then John Denver sued him.
Rocky Road hits. I was thinking
Yeah.
like Scoop and Spoon, but that's not bad.
The Rocky Road is generic enough too.
Yeah, it's boring. In fact, it's worse that it's boring. It's like you couldn't even make it an interesting name.
Shut up, Crystal
Everybody's
Palace
always
boy.
Everybody's always complaining because they hate Rocky Road ice cream.
Yeah, yes.
They don't even have good Rocky Road ice cream.
Yeah, it's even
There's
bad.
better Rocky Road ice cream at the grocery store.
It's like, what kind of
7-Eleven.
marshmallows did they use in this? Lucky Charms? What the hell? Oh, I did come up with a signature drink for the King of Clubs. It is called the Three of Clubs, and all it is rum and cherry Coke with 3 cherries tied into a club-like.
Jeez.
Oh my god, it's so tacky.
Could you imagine
You
the
know-
poor bartenders that have to like spend the morning tying all those cherries together before they? Yeah, that poor guys.
That's very tacky.
I feel like
Come up with a
this
name
place
for
is
the-
like it has an incredibly immature crowd most of the time, and then the poker tournament happens, and just like 10 old guys who actually know what they're doing show up, and they're the ones who clean up every time. They kick the ass of all the kids who show up.
Hey, we're only 12 hours from Atlantic City.
Come up with a name for the developer.
Oh yeah, we need a name.
Ooh, he built the Rocky Road, and everybody goes there for soft serve, and that's it.
Yes.
I want to say the first name is Walton.
Oh, I love Walton. It's great.
Okay. Need a last name to go with it though. Walton Epcot. Jeez. Okay.
No, not Epcot.
Hmm.
Walton Richards.
Let me see.
I think it's a
Walton Richards of Richards Developments.
Yes, Richards Developments. Nice and boring. Sounds like the worst.
Which goes
possible.
right there with Rocky Road.
Walton Richards.
Walton
Mhm.
Richards. Richards Development. Trying to buy up all of our properties.
He's trying to build a bar right now, and that's this will not
Every
stand.
he shows up at every single town council meeting with plans to try to sell the city something that it can't afford.
Yep, every time.
And everything
If you
he
subsidize
tries to
this, it will do
propose-
so well for the economy.
Everything he tries to propose has some derivative of Rocky and or Road.
Oh God.
Oh god damn it.
Oh,
Yes, right now
no.
he is trying to buy up some of the old warehouses in the old industrial district and turn them into studio apartments or lofts. That's what it is. He's trying to turn them into lofts, and one of the buildings he's trying to buy, he has literally been told, that's where they used to make copper, dude. That's not healthy for anybody.
You can't
wait,
turn
okay,
those
okay.
into apartments.
What if
We
you
don't
change his
tear it
last name to
down
Rockwell?
because we don't want the fumes in the air.
What if he changed his last name to Rockwell Developments? And
Oh,
so
God,
everything
no.
is Rocky Road somehow.
Walton Rockwell of Rockwell
Walton
Development.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah, that works.
This is the guy that's going to be like he's going to be like the sponsor behind the homecoming king and queen on the football field of the high school, not the college, the high school, and somebody's going to take a shot at him with a hunting rifle.
Maybe they already have.
Yeah, he's just a walking meme. That's what he is.
All right.
You know,
so
Before
if he-
memes
if he ever
existed.
in his- If he ever in his life went out hunting like, all the old residents of the town have, then he would not come back.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
he's the
he's
one
from
guy we
Seattle.
kind of really do wish disappeared into the hot springs one day.
was the old lady that was the treasurer that everybody liked?
That was
Prosperity
Clarkson.
Clarkston.
Prosperity.
Yeah,
Prosperity.
prosperity.
Yeah. So her and Walton are always the ones sticking out ads in the high school paper, Gazette, and the college paper, and trying to sway the town one way or the other.
I feel like Prosperity, like she doesn't buy ads in the paper. She just sits down for a cup of coffee with a couple of reporters, and then her things make it onto the front page anyway.
Thinking of like terms of like she was the one that's always behind things like little festivals or what do you call them, fairs and things like that have small regional gatherings of people that need a little bit of money behind it. And he's the one that pulls the town together in that way, which is why people like her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's taken care of. Anybody have questions with character generation?
Are we making a character that's before the awakening or after?
Yes.
Okay, so
Before.
we don't pick edges or anything yet?
Don't pick edges. So the
Okay.
character generation starts on.
Don't give me a base number right now. So I went through and I originally was going for Redeemer, but then I realized the description of Redeemer in the beginning is nothing like what the Redeemer is later on. So I threw that away and picked an Avenger. Um, and so I picked like things like uh, starting skills and stuff like that that might fit my character. Do we spend all our background points?
No, backgrounds, run them by me. Freebie points only if you wish to buy merits.
Oh, we can't pick freebies until we pick edge, right?
No, you can spend some freebie points on merits if you wish.
Or you could take flaws and
yeah,
trade it all
merits
out.
and flaws. You can take up to 7 points of flaws, and those give you that many amount of freebie points.
Okay.
And freebie points for merits are the only thing you can spend before the change.
The only freebie points, right?
Because those are pretty much personality and or character quirk type of things.
There are a few that are related to after the thing, so I would have assumed you would avoid.
So run those by me beforehand, but
Yeah, I found a couple of merit flaws. I don't think any of them will run into that because, like, one of them's like bad sight. Okay.
yeah,
You wear
some
glasses.
of those can be explained if you want them to happen during the change.
Mm-hmm. I have a couple of flaws that I do need to run by you, but I put my just so you know, I put my full story on my character sheet for you, Ag. So you let me know if there's a problem with it. It gets a little complicated. So
okay, so in the book on page 84 starts with the basic, the quick description on character building. Take your concept, choose what creed you wish to be, and then the nature and demeanor. The nature is your true self. The demeanor is how you present yourself. The archetypes they list are, for your nature is how you regain willpower.
And for those, like they have a list of examples, but you can make up whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just let me know. But like, if your nature is a director, you do not like chaos and disorder. You want to be in charge. You want to keep everything orderly, working like a machine, and you gain a point of willpower when you influence the group in the completion of a difficult task, right? That's what they do. So it kind of, when you are in your comfort zone, you can regain a point of willpower. The demeanor is just how you present yourself to others. You may be really introverted, but around certain people you can pretend to be extroverted. And it kills you inside, but you know, you look forward to that moment when you can get away and go lock yourself in the closet and just sit.
Okay.
You can take your starting attributes higher than 3. You can do 4 or 5 if you really want to, and pick a specialty for anything that's over 4. Abilities can't go any higher than 3. Most backgrounds you probably can take beforehand, but some of them might make sense to wait until afterwards.
Yeah, like a Destiny, I guess, you can put that on there, but I'll figure out later.
Yeah. Allies you probably can. Bystanders, not really, because you haven't imbued anything yet either, so they don't really make sense to buy any of those first. Patrons, mentor, maybe.
Depending on what they're mentoring you in or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I may reserve a couple background points just to see how the prologue wears out, and then maybe put them in one thing or another. Like maybe bystanders might make sense. Maybe something else might make sense for that. But
Yeah, my background, I had to fill in all of mine, so it's fine.
You can you can choose your virtues. Your primary virtue, any secondary virtue cannot be higher than your primary virtue.
oh, are we choosing virtues now, or is
You
that
can,
okay?
because you're what you want to play is what you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm probably going visionary on this one. Is what
We just can't spend those on edges.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So basically, I'm going vision. Probably we'll put it that way, but there's only one, anyways. So yes, that's the target for this one. We'll say that.
You know, your creed is probably going to determine your starting edge, but if you do something like 1, 1, and 1 into 3 different virtues, you could potentially start with one of the edges in any of those 3 as what happens during the edict.
Right.
It's most likely going to be your primary, but depending on what fits. Freebie points wait until later, except for what you spend on merits and or flaws.
So yeah. So what virtues was everyone probably going to be doing then?
I am probably going to be like I wrote the character's backstory with Redeemer in mind, but there are a few different things I could see her ending up being.
Yeah,
I don't think she would be out of
I'm
place
heading-
as a defender or an innocent.
yeah, I think I'm heading innocent. I'm like,
Okay.
Martyr.
Yeah, I'm going zeal.
You're going what?
Zeal, right?
Oh,
Vengeance?
zeal.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Avenger.
Vengeance,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing martyr, so mine's mercy, so I'll be right there with the innocents.
Mercy, Vision, and Zeal. Got all
And
3
then
flavors.
Scaly was thinking
Vision.
All right, I have those in listed next to your brief descriptions with question marks, just in case you change. If any of you have a specific, how should I put this? Trigger for during the event that you would like to see happen, let me know. If part of your story is losing a little brother during that happen, I need to know so I can arrange it to happen, type of thing.
Triggers. Okay.
Not necessarily what causes the imbuing, but something that happens during the prelude.
Can you clarify what you mean by this?
I got an idea, so this might help Scalar. Are you talking about like I'm sitting there, I'm reading the paper, I'm just reading through an article or something, and then I suddenly get the message and the headline changes or whatever? Or are you talking about
No,
because this happened? Because this happened, this is why I'm going down this path.
Yes, like Avengers, right? You could be going on a roller coaster ride with a date, and when you get off, or when you start to the roller coaster ride, you realize that the ride attendant didn't latch down the thing safely on the person you're with, and then on the way pulling in, something happens to them and you're traumatized, and on the way to pull in, you realize that person, something's wrong with them, they are a monster, and that triggers you to lash out and attack them. Right? That is a key event into why you became what you became. If you are a defender, it kind of helps to have somebody to defend.
Yeah. That was going to be my soccer mom, but I changed over to this one. So
think about that. Send me a
My
DM if you have any ideas for that.
The only thing my character needs is someone to blame.
Don't we all?
Well,
some of them can be very, very simple to work in. Others, you might have something in mind. That's all.
Well, I mean, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. What's the first power for martyr? And I was like reading, I was like, okay, I could see this. I mean, I'm using this as a generic example, but it was more like because demand would be the first edge power I could get, and mercy, which allows me to increase my strength to hold to do something, either like hold something back, or if I hit something, I can increase my strength to hit it harder, type thing. And I'm thinking, depending on what type of event, I'm not a fighter necessarily. I'm did a little reworking on my points and whatnot, but it's one of those things where it's like something that's trying to get into the building we're in or something, and I shove the door closed, or something's trying to attack somebody and I just jump in and yank it off, demanding that it stop. Is that what you're talking about?
To follow my carnival type of thing, a ride goes crazy and pins somebody down, and a normal person can't lift it off of somebody, but a martyr can. You take damage, you increase your strength, and lift.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a specific idea in mind, let me know. Otherwise, I can provide some generic things to happen.
Yeah, that's what I say. I get the feeling that this is going to be more along the lines of what I don't know how much you can plan on this. I mean, from my perspective, I don't know how much you can plan on this.
Oh, a lot of it's going to be narrated. right? It's not going to be more random. It's going to be more scripted to a point.
All right. I mean,
So I will provide some prompts and act on them. Don't
Right.
think, oh, I don't have the dice for it. That doesn't necessarily matter.
well, as long as people are in danger from monsters, I think I should be fine, and I'm going to assume that this will have that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have a specific trigger or anything. So you could probably just, you know where I want to go. So I think we've talked about a little bit about this character.
Yep.
So I think we're okay there.
Oh yeah, I picked out some flaws and merits. I don't think there's anything like too weird in there. If you want to look at those in the they're on my character sheet. But the one thing I did want to run past you was for the background. I went ahead and took Fame 2. Is just kind of like she's like performing musician, and she's like weirdly good for the places that she performs in. She is better than most of the people who that show up to these kinds of things, and she just has a bit of a reputation from that. Level 2 is like, most people in the city would be like, oh yeah, that saw her play once. She was pretty good. They'd probably know who I was. That fine or
Yeah. So
right.
You're more than just a regular at a certain club.
Yes.
Do you play at the fancy club sometimes? The bar?
No, I don't think she does. Not necessarily that they wouldn't let her in. It's just she wouldn't ask.
Yeah, certain set. College sports phenomenon or a morning TV show host. It could easily be a bar performer known as.
Like bars or like local cultural festivals and things like that.
Yeah.
She'll probably show up and be there somewhere or other.
Out in a shopping center, people might not recognize you, but anywhere near a bar or somewhere like that, people might realize who you are. And hey, are you playing tonight? Type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah. My flaws, I think I have to talk to you about. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we are done with the stream for now.
So, just so we know, when would be, because I know with holidays and stuff, everything gets thrown off. So, when would be the next one?
Yes. Let me check something real quick.
Obviously on New Year's.
Yes.
I think the 14th should be good.
Okay.
But yeah, New Year's definitely not. CES is the week after New Year's. I think starting on the 7th or the 8th. So yeah, the 14th should be good. I don't know for sure, but it should be.
Okay. So it looks okay at the moment, is what
Yes.
you're